And we're live. Hello.
Hello.
Hopefully. How
Hi,
you
hi,
doing,
hi.
love?
I've been better. I've been
Yeah, me
better.
too.
I've been better. I've been burning the candle at both ends and it's caught up with me. I'm just been rough. Today's the best I've felt in the last few days, to be fair. And I still
Yeah.
feel rough, but I'm good. I'm good. I know you're not well, no.
No. I
We're a
just
right
feel like I'm
pair.
out of space with this background, boy. That's ridiculous the way it makes you look. But everything, hang on, I can't see Louise in the weight room. She said she's trying to get on there. Um,
Zoom and Facebook Live love ramp with us when they're ready.
yeah, when they're ready, can be
When they're
annoying.
ready.
Really annoying. Um, hang on, let me just see.
Right. Just me coughing and spluttering up the place. Right. And we are live. Well, we've been live, but I mean, I can see it now on the
You can see it
Facebook.
now. Yeah. I can't see my sweet pea in the background. She's said it. She said that it was just preparing the live stream,
Right.
but it never said. I can't see her in the back, so I'm gonna probably have to call her in a minute. So I will. I would ask.
Lord.
I'll call her in a minute. We'll see.
Okay.
I would ask.
What's
Look,
been occurring?
we're both splattering and all sorts of
I know
nonsense.
it's so good that it's not like in person and that it's online.
Yeah, I know, right? Hang
it would
on.
have
I
it would
need
have
to get. I wonder if Emma's watching. I'm gonna just ask Emma to jump on whilst I try and sort out Louise, because I can't see her in the back, and she said it just said that it's waiting for her to watch, waiting for her to come in. She says
okay.
it's preparing meeting, so I don't know what's happening. I can't see her in the
When
um.
Zoom's ready to ramp.
Uh
I said when Zoom's ready to ramp, it really just will do it.
yeah. We need Jesus to be a fence. Oh,
You
here
know
she
that.
is. Oh, lovely. All
She's
right.
not
So, uh, go on.
she there?
Yeah, she's in the weight room, so we can now. I feel like we can start the show, and I can just admit her when
Okay.
if we've got problems with Zoom, then that's long.
Yeah. Okay,
What was you gonna
perfect.
say?
Yeah, no. I'm just sharing alike.
Yeah, I'm gonna do exactly the same. So, um, once we get on and you guys start talking,
Oh gosh, ma'am.
right? So, what you've been up to? We've been up to quite a bit together. What have you been up to individually?
Just sorting some business bits out.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just sort. Oh, come on. I'm getting a call. Just sorting some things out and yeah, just busy. It's just been busy.
Yeah.
Been busy. I did have like a little weird. I had a very weird weekend. I don't think I've had a weekend, well, a Saturday like that since I was in my 20s.
Oh, let me stop the share. I want to hear this. Go on. Did I
So,
have it ready?
huh?
It's ready.
Have you? I think so.
What happened? Okay, tell me what happened.
So we met up. So we agreed. Me and Shanti agreed to meet up with another friend called Becky. We
Right.
weren't sure what we were gonna do. Then we ended up going somewhere local. Then a few other friends of ours came as well. Then when we got there, we decided that weren't it. So everybody decided to drive down from local to King's Cross.
Okay.
On a spontaneous one. We'd had loads of drinks at mine, by the way. And then we just had the weirdest night. It was just strange. You know, when you just have the most wackiest. I got home at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. You got
So
home. Wow.
it was, yeah. I'm like, that doesn't happen. And I've just been mashed up since. I just can't recover. I can't recover when I had 2 Malibu, let alone like that. It was really weird and it was really spontaneous. It was like, we're like, let's go. And I was like, I can't. Why not? Well, there actually isn't a reason. No kids this weekend, there's nothing. Okay, let's go. It was all right. No, it was funny. It was ridiculous. It was like a film. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and everything that could have gone right went right. So
right.
It was just hilarious.
So what was open until 7 in the morning?
Scala.
Okay. What was it? House and Garage?
Yeah, some House of Joy.
Oh, okay.
House of Joy.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, nor did I.
Yeah, I didn't know. No, usually you tell me, but I'm like, no, I don't remember you telling me this. So,
yeah, no, it was awful. I've been too ill since.
Yeah, true.
Trying to recover. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. We were out over the weekend, and I think that's probably where we both got the sniffles from. Was it this weekend or was it
last weekend?
Last weekend or was it this weekend?
Last weekend.
All right.
Because I did start feeling unwell last weekend.
Yeah, I took a COVID test. It ain't that.
Yeah.
Because following my mum getting sick, I'm not trying to play that game. So I immediately went and got myself tested. I gave it a few days because they say that it doesn't show up in your system straight away.
Yeah.
So I gave it a few days. And then I went and had a COVID test. It's not that, but it's definitely feeling a bit run down.
Run down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me share my screen so that we can start the show because Lulu's going to be joining us from Fuchsia Life Coaching.
Okay.
I'm really I feel excited that she's coming onto the show. I feel annoyed that I feel run down but she said she can only stay for an hour and a half anyway.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to make the show 2 hours today. I ain't trying to do
yeah,
I do not feel that well. So yeah, just gonna share the screen. So we've got Lulu coming on from Future Life Coaching, and we're gonna just chop up, give her an opportunity to speak about some of the wonderful work that she does, and then just chop up our topics as normal and get her opinion because she's got a good, strong opinion. I'm excited for that. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of what we've been up to before we go into that. So we're nearly there, aren't we?
We're nearly there, yeah. Practically.
Talk about it. What do you want to say about our little endeavors, what we've been going on with?
It's we've got a new mini content studio, well equipped with a 360 machine. So we do have the services of a 360 machine both in-house. It can also be hired out and it can be hired in the studio. We have as well as photographic backdrops. We have our feature grass wall for all the kings and queens that enter our mini palace.
Video. Let me see if I can show the video. Hang on. You can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was our little hand featured, our handmade haul, isn't it? We put that
Yeah,
together with ourselves on the live. We've done that on the live actually.
we did do that on a live. We did.
That's times. So that's the studio space before it's teamed up. It's a lot better than that now. But that's our feature hedge wall. There's our 360 machine. So yeah, as you were saying, it's available for bookings in-house as well as out-house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we done stamp.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Stamp, and we done
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
us today.
Yeah.
We know she's always got a
Yeah, yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Look at
Me and them
Nicky.
no grounds man. So me a fi frowns man. See them down a town man. Hook up with a brown man. Man a pound man. Where them?
So Goody had his birthday down at the country club in Trent Park. A nice venue, really nice venue.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and we had our 360 machine down there, and the Friday we had our 360 down at Gast, which is J2 and Bungie's birthday party, and I had a fabulous time on the Friday, but no lie. Yeah, I danced off my feet.
Yeah, the pool.
Someone stole my drink in Bojangles though, and I was like, do people do that? Like, they stole my drink.
But at least they didn't give it back.
So yeah, I think but like I was talking to Damien today, and he was like, you got to go back out there because you've got to build back up your immune, because I've literally just locked myself away since Mum and I got ill. But it was like, you go out, you got to start mingling back so that your immune system can get strong with it and try and beat up this fear that I've got about being around people, because I've just got to get back to normal life. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where we're at. But yeah, I just wanted to share what was new with us at the beginning so that people know we're hiring out our studio as well as our 360 machine. We're offering photo services. You could bring your own photographer, or we can offer you those services in-house. Holler at us and let us know if you want further information.
The Branding Buffet Studios.
Yeah. Yeah, or follow us on our Instagram at Branding Buffet Studio. I just love this picture of Louise, man.
It's gorgeous.
So
it
beautiful.
Is absolutely stunning.
Yeah. So without further ado, let me admit her. Let me admit Lulu. There she is. Still drinking wine though.
No, I'm not. I'm drinking soft drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm drinking soft drink. Hey. Hiya.
How are you?
We're both sick.
Yeah, both sick.
Fuming. The one weekend I go out, I catch cold. You know what I mean?
You know that.
Fuming, but it's not COVID though. You know when you got COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's just like little sniffles, you know, like run down sniffles.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. You get better soon. Keep drinking that ginger tea and garlic and so forth. The old West Indian
remedies.
Been with the garlic. The other day I was thinking to myself, so if you get a guy, there's certain things that you just can't do.
Like what?
Like drink smelly garlic.
Like what?
Like, drink smelly garlic, because I've been drinking smelly garlic.
Yeah, but you know,
garlic and ginger raw, I drink it.
Yeah, but yesterday I was so unwell and my body was hurting, my neck was hurting, my glands were swollen. I literally, for the whole last part of the evening, was chewing a garlic clove, a really large one. I just stored it in my mouth and was just chomping on it the whole evening.
Right.
I think I had enough. Literally this morning, I had a rough night, like it was purging everything out. And then this morning, I felt so much better.
Right.
Garlic works, man, it works.
I've been drinking it, but like my mum might say, oh, that smells really bad. So I'm like, if it smells really bad to her.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean? But I'm like, I don't care. I do my garlic and my ginger because I'm not trying to pop down that ear again. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what's going on for you, Lou? First of all, congratulations with Guest. I think you've done a fantastic job
Thank
promoting
you.
that and stuff. And it was a good night. I really enjoyed myself. We
I
were meant to be
thoroughly enjoyed
working.
myself.
One piece of skanking.
It was really good. It was really nice vibe. It was colourful. Everybody was happy, smiling.
Yeah.
Everyone looked beautiful. So it was really good. Really good vibes.
Yeah. Oh, dear. So what else is going on for you? Talk to us about Future Life Coaching before we get into it quickly. What's your aim
Okay.
with that? What have you done? Just give us the background and then we can go into it from there.
A little bit about my background or a little bit of Fuchsia Life background?
Both. You know, I always want to know both. I want to know everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, originally, I'm coming from youth work. I've been doing youth work for like over 16 years. And I think I'm doing a lot of community work with young people and their parents.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and chop it up quickly, but doing a lot of projects with the young people and sending them back to their own environment wasn't really sitting too well with me because they'll come back the same. Why? Because their parents wasn't making any changes. It was just a child. So the child was going back into the same environment, doing the same thing basically. And probably doing something different in the youth club. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. We weren't getting no funding to also help parents, and parents didn't really want to know. It was all about their men or their family, or they wanted to live their life, or stuff like that. So this is why I started up Fuchsia Life, so that I can now work with both young people and adults. Right. Then found myself just loving working with adults because there's so much to unpack with them, not having a lack of understanding of why they do things. There's a lot of the things where you listen to other human beings saying, oh, that person done this and this person done that, but never really look at themselves. So the unpacking comes from looking at past childhood and traumas and looking at your own behavior. Why is it that you act or say or behave in a certain way? And yeah, I just love doing that.
Okay. So
yeah,
give us
fun.
an example of like where you think you've made a change with an adult, because I know working with adults, I've done both as well, so our backgrounds are similar. I've worked with young people as well as adults. I think sometimes young people can be easier to work with than adults because adults are set in their own ways. So how do you overcome those sort of challenges with adults that you can see quite clearly what it is they need to do and they just ain't hearing it or they're just not doing it? How do you overcome that?
Well, I would say that they clearly don't see it. So when you think that
you clearly see, but they don't, is what I'm saying.
So I would see it. We may see it doing the work, but they won't see it. And sometimes it takes for them to do the work in order to have that magic moment, like, oh, I get it now. Right there and then, when you got that frustration, like, can you not hear me? Can you not get what I'm saying? You now just have to break things down for them to have some kind of understanding. You can't blame the person. You can't even get frustrated with them because they don't understand what you're saying.
Right.
They don't get it at that present time.
So you just have to. What kind of tactics have you done to get someone to get your point?
I think I would really use tools that they can actually visualize. They can actually see it in front of them. And then it doesn't mean that you get it there and then. It means when I go back home, I'm going to reflect on that. And then you're going to think of a scenario of, these scenarios that we've spoken about today. You're going to go back home, you're going to think about it. Then you're going to come back and be like, you know what? I didn't really think about that before. This actually did happen to me, but I don't know, let's kind of thrash it out. Let's just talk about it. And then they come to some kind of understanding. Because sometimes we're living with a certain habit that we grew up with that we can't let go. And we didn't even know we had it. We didn't even know we had it. So that's where the work, long-term work is better. If they can do long-term work, then it's better for them because you learn something new all the time about yourself. Yeah.
So has this line of work made you deeply reflect on yourself?
Sorry, you cut out there for a bit. Say that again.
Oh, I said, has this line of work made you deeply reflect on yourself?
All the time, you're always reflecting.
Mm.
Yeah.
You're always reflecting, and you should never be, you know, you should never stop. You know, if something is affecting you, that, you know, you work with somebody and a topic arise where it's affecting you, and then that's something that you need to go and see a coach or a supervisor to discuss that with.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
What has been, give us an example of something that you found really difficult to manage?
I had a client last year actually, who kind of the same thing where I've explained about, you know, everybody else is the issue, she doesn't have the issue.
Right.
But she knew she had mental health problems.
Okay.
Right? But
Right.
even though I'm trained as a counselor, I'm a coach, so I'm not here to counsel you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So so she knew what she needed, but she wanted to see if she can find an easier route from me. But when I started to ask the hard questions, she now started to get a little bit bipolar on me.
Right.
Okay. Started
Yeah.
to switch up on you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but when she did do that, I just sat down and I listened to her.
Mm.
Right.
And she wasn't getting frustrated with me. She was now getting frustrated with herself,
Right.
not with me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
said to her, well, that's, you know, she actually came up with the conclusion that she needs to see a counselor and that I wasn't the person that she needed to talk to. And I told her that's fine.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
fair enough.
yeah,
Mm.
that is fair enough. But it was a hard one to really sit down and have to take that bad energy. So now you got to try and release that energy somewhere else.
And I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. How do you do that? Because I know for us, in some of the lines of work that we've been in as well, it's hard not to take some of that work home.
Yeah. That's the struggle.
Yeah.
No, well, you shouldn't. Well, no, I don't. That's something I never take home. If it's an issue, if it's something where you feel it's a bit heavy, I think it's something that you discuss with your supervisor or your coach, which is what I have. I have that. So I can always come off the phone and be like, hey, oh my gosh, this happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then after that, for me, I don't really carry it like that. So for me is, okay, this is what happened today, blah, 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 reflect on it. Could I dealt with it any differently? Yay, nay, maybe so. And then keep it moving. I never like linger on with a client's issue.
That's good.
That's good.
For me, I did, because some of the clients, especially when you go into environments like where me and Natalie have been at 2 workplaces together, and the first place that we was at was like Calcutta indoors. It was like a war zone indoors. It was bad. It was badly managed, and I was tasked with being management and trying to revamp and clean it up, basically. And then I found, because it was so poorly managed, when clients realized that actually these characters are slightly different, they are going to listen, they are going to do what they say, then they started to attach themselves to you, because or everything that happens, then they're going to come to you because she's going to listen, she's going to make some kind of action, she is management, blah blah blah. So it then became like, the more that they trusted you was the more that they would divulge. And then some of the things that were divulged were just downright disturbing. So I guess if you're not in the you're not in the role of a coach, you're not in the role of a counselor, but you are there to make a change, and people trust you to make that change, they're gonna tell you stuff. And I found it difficult at times to put it down when I got home. Like, it would bother me.
Okay.
It would bother me. Yeah.
Okay.
It would definitely bother me.
I mean, it can be. I mean, I guess that part that you go home with is that you feel stressed. That's the part you're actually taking home.
Yeah.
And if you realize it's stress, then it's how you de-stress yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and because it's not about really taking your work home. even though we live it, because working with young people is a lot of work. Or that type of work that you was doing, you know, we was doing the same thing at the same time when you was doing it. So I remember doing that with them is hard work, and it takes a lot of your energy. Do you know what I mean? It does take a lot of your energy. But at the same time, I think for me, I loved it so much. Do you know what I mean? I went home finding a solution to go back in and be like, I'm going to target that person again. Boom, let's get it working. So it never really came home with it like that. But then for supervision in our role, that should actually release by saying, okay, how do we do it differently? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. Hang on.
But yeah, I've never really. I think
someone said that they're finding you very informative.
Say that again, sorry.
Again, inboxes. Someone said listening very informative. So you're making an impact already. I love it.
Thank you.
Go on, Lou. Go on, Lou.
So yeah, I think you know, I think I loved it so much. It wasn't about, you know, I mean, now, I mean, I haven't done the youth work in batches like that, you know, since I've had my daughter. And I don't think the amount of hours that I put into that is completely different to me doing the, you know, the coaching now, where I can just focus on a couple people or a group of people and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not so task orientated, funding, doing paperwork, trying to get outcomes. It's a little bit different when you're in an organization. Do you know what I mean?
Those outcomes, boy. It's those outcomes for me.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of bureaucracy.
It is.
Like literally, and you know what? The year my brother died, I went to a meeting in Hackney where the mayor was actually there, and he came round to our table, and I mentioned this. Actually, me and another worker mentioned the same thing about those big forms. When those fundings completed, they expect you to continue doing it and do great.
Yeah.
With nothing behind you.
Yeah.
And he just ignored us because he doesn't care as long as he got the outcomes and the stats.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It isn't.
And that's what the outcomes are about. That's what's annoying sometimes. Yeah. Have you done the outcome? Well, there's no outcome right now.
Natalie, I got to start now.
Because it is, to me, like the wind up of it is, it's not human. Like different human reacts to things in different ways and to certain time frames, and some things take years to curate and to heal and to get to people in a certain way. And I feel like you should definitely have goals and you should definitely have things that you're looking to, but even though they are person-centered, it's still like, well, what's happened within 3 months? Well, sometimes that don't take 3 months.
Yeah.
We're going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
It's a task. Like, and it's just, sometimes you feel like that is more important than actually delving into the matter in detail and actually getting to the root of it and supporting or empowering them to fix it. Instead, it's more about, well, we need an outcome, or is there a risk for this? Well, there's no risk. Well, create a risk, but there's no risk. You want me to make a risk to have a risk? Why? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Things like that. I just think, oh, it's so jarring. So it is just very, as you said, bureaucratic. It's annoying.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that is why I think the last big project I was working on, it was working with both the child and the parent. But after that finished, there was no funding after that, and nobody wanted to give it. But in actual fact, I had to do more work with the adult than with the child. Do you know what I mean? So
definitely.
And that's like what you said earlier, Trisha, like it's harder work to do with somebody who, you know, he's already
set in their ways.
They don't want to think about what you're talking about. I'm just here for the child. Do you know what I mean? So
all right, so give a quick list of your services and where people can find you, because sometimes we do this at the end, but it'd be good to, like, as we're getting in before, then you can recap at the end and put your details in the chat. But give a list of the kind of services that you can offer and where they can find you, and then we'll go back into it, and then we'll start sharing some topics until you have to go.
All right, cool.
All
So I do one-to-one, and I do group work. And within that, I also do like vision board sessions and all the coaching things you can think of. Right now, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram. My website is down at the moment because I'm changing it. So I would, but still, you find Fuchsia Life. If you put Fuchsia Life, you still find me on all the platforms. So
why Fuchsia Life? What's
what
behind
is Fuchsia
that?
Life?
Yeah.
Good question. Good question.
Right.
Now, how that name came from a flower. Fuchsia is a flower. It's like the color fuchsia, but it comes from like purple, bluey purple, pink.
Yeah.
So that represents me as the person who was a tomboy based on the life that I live at a younger age, in my teenage years, to how I became confident as a person and flourished to become the person I am today. So that's what the fuchsia flower means.
Right. Okay, that's pretty.
That is pretty and symbolic. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we can find you on
It actually
Facebook.
came to me in dream because I just, like I've had such a crazy young life. It can be seen as dark, which is the navy blue. Okay, all I wore was navy blue. But that was based on my energy at the time.
Okay, that's
so
interesting.
as you grow in life, your colors start to brighten up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's cool. But you said you was tomboyish when you was younger.
Mm.
So was I.
Yeah. So was I.
Yeah, I done all the caps and the trainers and the walk and the, want to fight and have to protect myself from people, and I had to do all of that. Do you know what I mean? So that is why, when I'm working with young people, be like, "Oh, miss, but you don't understand what's going on." I'm like, "Yeah, I do actually."
Yeah. Yeah.
More than you know.
Yeah, little do you know, but it's like I was watching something called a live on Instagram by this guy, and his page is called Synchronistic, who speaks a lot about spiritual stuff. And one of the things he was saying is like he knows for a fact that there would be people that would be out there saying, "Look at this nigga, like going on like he's sitting on a lily pad," and he was like, "But they're the person that you've grown into be," but people don't necessarily want to let that go. But I think the biggest thing that you said was you understood your energy and you have flourished into a completely different person. Because I know there's people out there that have I've learned to not care now, but there are different people that have different opinions of you, or just the wrong end of the stick, based on something that you said or did 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So
everyone changes, everyone grows, and everyone changes. So it shouldn't even have that same perception of you 20 years ago.
Sometimes I think if that person is still in the mindset of 20 years ago, then how much have they really changed? If they can't really see past that,
hit the nail on the spot there.
How much have they really grown? Because you're still in that space, technically. You're still there.
Yeah. I mean, you was with me at Elliot's funeral the other couple of years. It's coming up to 2 years now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That Elliot passed. Yeah. R.I.P. Ellie. And there was this girl there. I'm not going to call her name because we don't do that here. But there was this girl there that I had some sort of beef with. But when we're talking, I was about 18 at the time, so we were kids. And she was still huff up and puff up, like for the whole day, being rude. And because of where we were and because of where I am now, I ignored a lot of it. But towards the end of the night, I was just like, "What is your problem?" Because whatever happened like 20 plus years ago. I don't even remember. I probably did cause some physical harm, knowing me, but but it was 20 years ago. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I do, like, it's not the time, it's not the place, and I can't even bloody remember. But it's interesting where people stay. So when you think that, okay, it's gone on, you don't know the impact you could have had on someone, and some people don't know the impact they could have had on you. So I guess that's where your coaching comes in handy, is to be able to grow past that within yourself, and do you know what I mean? And teach people how to do that. It's important, because you'd be surprised how many people are still stuck in the 80s and still stuck in
They
the
are, but you know
90s,
what? It depends on your
big
the circles that you hang out with back then, and it depends on your circles now. Do you know what I mean? Look, because now
Yeah.
I still got people from primary school that would probably be staring me down or want to fight me and whatnot, and I don't even know what for. But you know, so it's a matter of maybe standing your ground. You know what I mean? Standing your ground, but at the same time, you're in that place. You're in the know to say, I don't need to penny that. I don't need to look at that person or
Absolutely,
in
it's
mind.
about separating ego and spirit.
100%.
Yeah,
And
because
sometimes
your ego does need to respond 9 times out of 10, whereas your spirit is going to know what to walk away from what not to walk away from. I'm still working on that though. Me not lie. I'm a lot better, but ego does creep up sometimes. Me not lie.
Well, and if you got to protect yourself, you got to protect yourself as well. You know, as long as you're not the first person to start it. You know what I mean.
No, I never am.
Be the adult. You can let the person, walk by, and they can do whatever they want. It's nothing to do how they're feeling. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
How you react is. It's like, do you watch Real Housewives of Potomac, Lou?
Yes.
So what do you think of Candice's character?
Lord have mercy.
How many times would you have dragged her up and down Lee Bridge Road?
Not Lee Bridge Road.
Because she would have gone up and down there a few times. I couldn't do it.
What do you think of her, and what do you think her triggers? I think it's a lot to do with her mum, the way that she is.
I think so as well. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think she's a brat as well. I think she's a spoiled little brat as well.
But she's a twin of her mother.
Yeah, she is.
She is a twin of her mother. They both act the same. They all behave the same. You notice as well that, you see in this season where the mum went around asking questions, but she didn't challenge her mum. Maybe we didn't see that on camera, by the way.
Yeah,
But she blamed all the other cast members rather than saying, no, my mum was the culprit here. And she's the one that's, trying to put my husband down.
I think the mum's jealous of her.
Yeah.
And her and her husband are so polar opposite, aren't they? Like, yeah, I feel like one day he's just going to be like, I can't.
Yeah, he's going to be
much older than her as well. So some of the ways that she responds to things, it is of her age kind of category. She's childish. She's and he's older than her. So,
but how old is she? Don't make me look it up right now. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, but how would you manage a client like that? What would be your advice to a client like that, Lou?
I'll be honest, I don't think she would really want to hear what I've got to say. I'll be honest with you. I don't think she'll come.
Yeah.
I don't think she can. Because when you listen to what her husband is saying to her, like, she doesn't want to hear what he has to say. But even though people don't want to hear it from their partner, they might want to hear it from someone else that's different. And I think she did go to, a couple of seasons back, she did go to see somebody. And then she takes responsibility for her own actions, and then she's right back at it again.
No, I think she went to see someone for Pappy Show and to like proper Pappy Show, I feel that was. And I felt like she went to get the sympathy vote, and she just did the time that she went to the counsellor, I felt like she was doing the most.
Yes.
Yeah, she just does. She's 34. She
the waterworks, she plays victim. She doesn't want to take responsibility. She doesn't really want to understand her own actions. But in the what's the after bit that they do?
Reunion.
the reunion, she accepted her behavior. She was like, yeah, I do it for good reason, and I like it. I'm not going to change.
Yeah. And I feel like she can't even be challenged. Like I feel like she's unreasonable. And she can't even be challenged like in a nice and delicate way. So I feel like you're right. She wouldn't be ready for that kind of coaching.
No.
Because she cannot even be held accountable or challenged in any type of way, because everything is everyone else's fault.
Yeah. I think counseling would be better for her.
Yeah.
Counseling and psychotherapy, I think, would be better for her to really sit down and dig deep.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas coaching is where now, the here and now, let's focus on what you want to work on. Let's go.
Okay, so that's the fundamental difference.
Yeah,
whereas
that's
you kind of got your shit together, but you just want to focus on what you've got.
Is it like the next step after counselling?
It's like so a little bit like counselling CBT. They do the same thing. So it's more coaching style in CBT. So so they focus on the here and now. You might go a little bit into the past, because some past things are going to come up as to why certain things take place and whatever not. But you don't have to, you know, sit down and just listen to the past. You're going to be like, okay, you've recognized that now. Okay, how do you want to deal with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're not here to give you advice. We're here for you to say
Makes
what
sense.
you want to do and move forward. We're not here to give you advice.
Okay.
So it's just like working out a game plan with your client on how to move forward. So is that in everything, in business, in personal,
all round.
Right.
So we can look at whatever areas in your life. Normally I would look at all areas, and what happened is that people don't really recognize, like, oh yeah, I didn't really think of that part, or you're dealing with that or whatever not. And then I start to break down each area, and then they start focusing on that. And once they start to do that, they start to feel better within themselves.
Yeah.
Because they can see it. They can, oh, okay. Wow, they didn't think of that. I had to deal with that.
Right. Okay. Me might call you myself.
You know, I was just about to say.
Might call you at some point myself. All right. So we know we've got limited time with Lou, and to be fair, we're both here stuffed and all the rest of it, so we're gonna shoot through it. I would have cancelled tonight, but I really wanted to talk to you, so thank you so much for coming on. Because I definitely want this platform for us to have our genuine talks, but also to shine a light on all of the great work that we are out here doing. So, you know, all of us have got businesses or some sort of endeavors that I would love to just continue to shine a light on, even if it is our little mini light. But yeah, I wanted you to come up here and talk about what it is that you do. And again, list your platforms and then we'll go into the topics.
All right, cool. So platforms are Instagram and Facebook. Starting to delve a little bit into like the TikToks and stuff. I'm not quite there yet. So when you're going to focus mainly on those two platforms, I've also got a group. It's a personal development group, but that group is only if you want to do work with me. So you get in contact with me or send me a message directly. You can also book on my Facebook business page, Fuchsia Life. Yeah, so you can book directly on there, and then it will come directly to me, and good to go.
All right, cool. So drop your Facebook page in the chat as well when you're done. Yeah, when we're done.
Yeah.
So just a link to your thing. So let me share my screen. Let's go on to I love this picture, Lou.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's so stunning.
All right, so Sammy Joe Walker posted this date from hell. So has anyone here been on a date from hell before we read the comments?
I'll be honest, I haven't been on a date in a very long time.
No, this is it.
Okay.
No. No. Have
No?
you?
I haven't. I've been on a couple of dates, not from hell, but remember I told you guys last show that there was one pretty guy that I went out with. Pretty, but was just stupid. That was just like, that was hellish. Because it was torture. Like, how could this man be so gorgeous and so dumb at the same time?
No.
It was, yeah, there was a couple of hours of my life that I'm not going to get back.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And I just couldn't, like all my friends at the time were like, but he's really nice looking and blah, blah. And I couldn't fix myself to go back out with him. I couldn't. He was ridiculous. But, no, that was one, that was one date I went on. And, no, I've not really had bad dates like that. I've had like some funny things happen whilst I'm out, but to say that I've had a date from hell, not really.
No.
No.
What would be classed as a date from hell anyway?
Right. Well, I don't know. Let's see what some of our comments were.
Okay.
So Wayne Gibson said, yeah, took her out, went back to her place, started kissing, then she bit my tongue and started slapping me in the face. When she started spitting, I knew it was time to leave.
Sorry. Oh God. Time to leave. We would have got
When she started spitting. Wait,
no,
what?
it's the spitting that would have thrown it for me.
No, from she bit his tongue, it was a wrap. Why are you biting my tongue? Do you know how painful that is when you
But
bite
you know
yourself?
what? You could have thought maybe she was trying to be sexy and it just went wrong. But why are you spitting? Why
are you spitting?
And where did she spit? Because that would determine
Oh my
whether she made it out alive.
if she still had her teeth after that, yeah. So he said, I got my shoes and my jacket and headed through the door. She blocked my escape with the words, "You ain't going nowhere."
No.
I was petrified. Like your camera's gone. I was petrified. Somehow I got the strength to barge past this crazy woman and make it into my company van. That was crazy.
Oh my God.
No.
Can you see
You
me?
said, oh, damn.
My mouth just
I
wide
was
open.
like,
I'm like,
wait,
what?
Wow.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Nah.
he said, true story. I believe she's one of these women who wanted. Thing is, she was so placid while we were out having a curry. She was one of them church gal. Them. She was like one of the church gal. Them. But when she got home, she was hitting and slapping and biting tongues. So I was like, no. I think it's very dangerous when you start to slap. If you slap them too hard and then run to the police with abuse allegations.
Well,
he was like, indeed, but I'm a lover, not a slapper. It's not my thing. I like to be gentle with a woman. If she needs to be slapped, she needs to find the next convict or go to the nearest ghetto.
oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Some of the things our members say, boy. Come on, guys, comment in the chat. Tell us all if you've had a date from hell.
Yeah, we want to know. I can't see the comments.
Can't you see the comments? Go into the
I'm
press
in
the
it.
video itself.
Yeah, I'm in it, and it's up, and it's coming up blank, saying,
and then
"Be
just
the
press the
first to
button
comment
again.
on this thing." I'm going to come out of Facebook and then go back in.
All right. Patrick says, "Good night, ladies. I'm on the night shift tonight. Keep up the good work." Angie says, "Hey." Agnes says, "Hey." Mike Shaw says, "Hey." Tony Cox says, "Hey." Carol Gill made a comment based on what we was talking on before. Lynette Douglas is watching. Thomas is watching. Hey Thomas, where's Roger?
Hey guys.
Well, go on. So yeah. So anyway, so we've had someone spitting and slapping.
No.
Oh, hang on. Right. Michelle, our producer, said, yeah, he brought his pastor.
Sorry. Oh my God. He brought his pastor.
He brought his pastor. So why was he going to deliver or preach a sermon? Someone said. Michelle said, only God knows, but that was the first and last date. And then she went on to say, I thought it was someone he knew that he was talking to whilst waiting. Then he introduced me and said it was his pastor. Again, I thought it was that he just bumped into his pastor while waiting for me. Then the pastor entered the restaurant with us and sat down.
No. And what, like, as a pastor, I bet he was on the clock, on the money. Because why are you going to do that? Why are you going to do that? Why are you really who does that?
Emma, I want to ask you to call in to tell us a little bit more about it. Let me call her and see if she's going to pick up. And see if she will call in about camera. Because I can't remember how she got out of that. I honestly can't remember how she got out of that.
I would have been like, I'm just going to pray. I'll be back later.
No, I'm not going to pray.
I'll never come
Emma,
back.
call in, please. Let me see.
I would go. There's no way I'd be sitting through him and his pastor like I'm going through Britain's Got Talent, flipping.
What, as a first date? Was it just as a first date?
I'm going to stop the share. You guys keep talking and I'm going to... It was the first date, but I wanted to call in and tell us about it, but I know she's probably avoiding that. She's been like Homer in the bush.
She's thinking Trisha.
Goes backwards into the bush. That's what she would do. I'm going to ring her. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to take that. Not on a first date.
But what would he be bringing a pastor to talk about? I'm not sure. On a first date.
I'm thinking he's bringing him in either to meet Michelle and cast his judgment and get advice, because he might run to his pastor for everything, or for his pastor to kind of sit there and talk, mentor, or even chaperone, depends on how religious he is. But all of it is strange. I would have had to have made my excuses and gone. There's no way.
You know what, bearing in mind, I'm a person that likes to laugh anyway. I could imagine me just sitting there laughing at the both of them.
Yeah.
Pastor, you know, why would you bring a pastor on a date? Nah, here she is. I'm gonna make her tell us.
Oh, Michelle.
Hey, Emma.
Hi, Michelle.
Oh, her phone's connected to audio. You're on mute, Mish. Take yourself off of mute.
Hello.
Hello.
Tell us more.
Oh God, where do I start? So I'd been chatting to him for a while. He sounded all right. I mean, he used to say, yeah, he went to church, but it didn't seem like he went every week or anything. Anyway, we agreed to meet up and go out for lunch. So it wasn't even like a dinner date. We was going out for kind of like a late lunch. And then I got caught in traffic, so I was late. So, but I was keeping him informed all along, and he sounded fine. So when I got there, obviously I knew what he looked like because I'd seen his picture, and he was outside in the car because we've gone to this place to eat inside a shopping mall. And he was standing next to somebody chatting. So like I said, I just presumed it was someone he met or someone he knew and was just chatting. And so then he was like, oh, Emma, this is my pastor. Oh, hello, hi pastor, how are you? Da, 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 da. So then he was like, are you ready to eat now? So I was like, yeah, cool, let's go. Why was the pastor following us? So I thought, okay, maybe he's going, I don't know what I was thinking, maybe he's going to the same restaurant with us. Then the pastor sat down at the table and started looking through the drinks menu. I was like, oh, hell no. I wasn't sure whether this man was coming to pray for me, cast out any demons. I don't know why he was there. But needless to say, that was the first and the last date.
How did you cope with it? Was he there for the whole date, Emma?
Let's say the date lasted 2 hours. He was there for about 45 minutes.
No, that's 45
And he
minutes
never
too
gave you
long.
no warning that he was bringing his
No,
pastor, no?
not a thing. Not a warning, not a thing. The pastor sat down, had the drink, had starters, and I think left before the mains.
No conversation for that 45 minutes. He just sat there, and it was just you and the guy. That was
Just awkward chit chat, because I'm kind of like, why is he here? I don't know him. Kind of felt a bit ambushed. Like, did he know he was coming, or did he just bump into the pastor and he didn't know how to tell the pastor to get lost? I don't know, but I was just like, nah, that's not gonna work for me. And then when I was thinking that, when the waiter came, he was quite rude and abrupt to the waiter, I felt. So I thought, well, you do have mouth then, so you could have said to the pastor like, okay, take care, God bless, bye. And he didn't. So anyway, later on he was like, oh, there was like a family wedding, do I want to come? And I was thinking, no, because if I used to rock up there, for all I know, it could be my wedding that I didn't even know was taking place. So no, there'll be no second date, because he goes on a date with their pastor. So yeah, that was the start and the end.
And we don't like people who are rude to the waiters either.
No, I don't like people who are rude to other people, because then I think if you've got mouth for them, you're going to make the mistake one day thinking you've got mouth for me, and that's not going to work. So no.
Yeah.
Right.
You just
Is that the
like
worst date you've ever been on?
Yeah, I would say, like, obviously you got on dates where maybe there is no conversation, or the person is not like what you expected.
Yeah.
But then you have strategies to deal with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I might call a girlfriend or text her and like, call me straight, and then just be like, oh, I gotta go. Do you know what I mean? Childcare's falling through or something's happened. But this one, I just was not prepared. I was blindsided. I did not see that coming, and I think I didn't even know how to react. Like, when he sat down, I was like, okay, he's just sitting down while he's waiting for somebody. I wasn't like, I didn't know how to react. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what was going on there. But that was just like, nah, that's a no for me. So, yeah, he never saw me again, first and last.
What's his explanation? Sorry, did I miss that? What was his explanation for bringing him?
He didn't have an explanation. He didn't say anything. After the pastor left, he just carried on talking like it was the most normal thing in the world. So then when he was like talking about,
ran into the pastor there for true then. And
maybe,
to tell
but
the
like,
pastor to piss off.
But that's what I'm saying. Initially, I thought that at first of all, maybe he doesn't know how to say to the pastor bye. But like I said, you had mouth. It was quite rude, I felt, to the waiter.
Right.
So you've got mouth.
Right. Roger's asked for the link, by the way, ladies.
Okay, I'll send it to him. But yeah, so that was my date from hell. Or date with the angel, should I say, as it was a pastor, but yeah.
That sounds very much so up there. That's got to be top 10 in the world. Because if I went to I'd already be nervous to go on the date. And if I went somewhere and they were with like their pastor or something like that, I'd be like,
I'm proper baffled. Like, normally my poker face is good, but I swear to God, you know, I was looking out for this in Canberra. Like, this has got to be a joke.
Looking for
At
Dom
any
Jolly.
minute now. Do you know what I mean? Someone's going to jump out and be like, Candid camera or something. Like, is this for real? Yeah, but yeah, needless to say, he didn't see me again.
No.
Yeah. Did he try to see you again?
Like I said, he wanted me to come to a family wedding.
Did he try after the wedding?
A few weeks, and actually tell a lie, he called me not that long ago this year. This happened about 2-3 years ago, and he called me this year. How you doing? Blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Do you know what I mean?
How's the pastor?
I didn't even get that first. Like, I just wanted him off my phone. It was just like, you know, one of those ones where I had to be like, who am I talking to? Like, I didn't even know who it was. Like, I think I must have. I don't think I blocked him, but I must have like
deleted the number, boy.
Yeah. So he didn't even show up. I'm like, who am I talking to? And I just like, nah, I'm good. And he's like, oh, you seen somebody? Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Do you know what I mean?
To your pastor.
Yeah, I'm seeing the pastor.
You know? I just found that very, yeah. I was
Go
like,
pray
nah,
to your pastor, man. Get out
this
of
is
here.
not gonna work for me.
I'd
You know what I
be so
mean?
pissed off.
I'd be
I would,
livid.
because I'm proper like. I thought to myself, even if it doesn't develop into anything else, we had good conversations. I thought, oh, he'd be a cool friend at the very most. But I just found that very weird. And I was
It
just
is
like,
weird.
nah,
That is weird.
that's not gonna work for me.
Especially there's
So
no
what did the pastor
discussion.
say to you on the day? Firstly, hey Roger.
Nothing. It was
You're
just
mute.
general
You're
awkward
mute, Rog.
chit chat. It was just awkward chit chat. How are you? How are you finding things? Oh, yeah. It was so awkward. Like you could have cut the air. It wasn't nice. It was awkward. Like he was just like anybody watching this interaction would be thinking, even if they didn't know the man was a pastor, like what's going on there? Because my face just looked full of shock, and it was just awkward. It was just like, yeah, it was an awkward conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think he knew
awkward.
it. Hence the reason why, even though he asked me to go to the wedding, and then he called me like a week later, when like Lord, whereas before we used to talk on a regular basis, he didn't come up with like, oh, how come I ain't heard from you? Like you knew, like. And again, if he just bumped to the pastor, wouldn't you just say that? Like, oh, that was a bit awkward. Sorry, he showed up. I didn't know what to say. He didn't say anything. Just tried to pretend like it didn't happen. Like I just didn't have a 45-minute awkward conversation with your pastor. Nah, I'm good, thanks. If that's what the Lord has to offer me, I return it with my tithes and offering. It's good. I'm fine, thanks. So yeah.
We're all right.
I'm quite all right. So that was that.
Roger, take yourself off of mute.
All right, guys, I'm going back into the thing to be watching
All
and
right,
monitoring.
then. Thanks for hopping
Okay.
on.
See you later.
Thanks, Nick.
Bye, bye.
Roger's on mute. His camera's gone. Take yourself off of mute, Roger. I wonder if I could take you off of mute. Hang on. Well, no, I can't. I could just ask you to unmute.
Yo.
Okay, here we go. Oh, you're looking fresh-faced and nice. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You look
We're
good.
good.
I'm good. We've got sniffles. We've got little sniffles, both me and that. We've been spinning around town with our little 360 photo booth. So yeah. Although I think the 360 photo booth gives you enough time, it gives you an opportunity to social distance. That's what I like about it, because people can't be up in your grill, but we still managed to catch the sniffles.
So hold on, wait. How do you explain? Okay, so the 360 machine allows you to do social distancing, and yet you guys caught a cold.
Absolutely, I know, but it ain't COVID. That's the main thing.
I think it's a lot. It's run down as well because it's not really been
Tired,
tired. Doing a million
Definitely.
things, it just doesn't stop.
Okay.
Rog, before we go on to the next topic, let me just introduce you to our special guest. This is Louise. I've known Louise for many years, and we've just invited her on to chop up because she watches and she comments, and she's one of the members as well. She's got a coaching company, and I love her opinion on stuff. So we've invited her in to have a little chat. But before we move on to the next topic, can you give us a scenario where you've had a date from hell?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I met this girl. I think I told you about this girl already. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, basically, we met up, and the second time we met up, she was like, okay, yeah, let's go, blah, 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 blah. And we got on our bicycles. We go out, and we stopped by Tesco, and she wanted to go and get in there and get some ciders. But then she got into an argument with the people in the car park first.
She got in
I think you did say this, yeah.
What happened?
I told you about the Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah.
That at first you think, because remember, this is the first time I'm out with this woman, so I'm thinking, maybe she's going to behave herself and calm things down by her. No. No, I had to get involved. And imagine the whole time she's arguing with this woman in the car, her boyfriend is standing outside of the car looking at me.
And now you're dragged into it.
He's looking at me like, yeah, if you're gonna do something, you know I'm gonna do something as well, innit?
Right.
Anyway, I eventually started cussing out at this woman, like, you know, the girl at the time. And I'm like, look, you can't be doing that. Look, you guys, obviously you've done your thing. We're gonna go now, so you're gonna have to excuse us, kind of thing. Like, just,
Did it?
yeah, just did the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that the one that, is it you, the one that said that she was very, 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 very ghetto?
No, that was Dre. Dre
Oh,
Styles.
that was
when
Dre. That's what I'm
Styles
getting
said-
that mixed up with.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was just about to say. Oh yeah, then I remembered. No, it was Dre that said
Oh,
she
that
was
was Dre.
a North
Okay.
Weasley hood rat.
Oh, so there's other women like this as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fighting and arguing. It's not good. All right, we'll move on to the next topic. We're whizzing through today. Ain't gonna be a long one.
Okay.
It really ain't. All right, so that was Michelle that he brought his pasta. All right, so I'm gonna play this, and then you guys tell me what you think afterwards. Yeah.
Opinion, but this piece of wisdom gonna set you
Hear
free
it?
right here.
Yeah.
Realizing that no one can cheat on you. It's about understanding that you have no possession over nobody. Nobody belongs to you. And once you realize this will simply set you free. We as humans be choosing bondage. We be choosing slavery because we don't realize that we have a choice of our own freedom and our own awareness of realizing that, dang, man, nobody belongs to me. So let me set them free. But a lot of people don't want to hear this. I know, man. This is when you got to stop taking things so personal. Stop feeling like you have ownership and control over somebody else's well-being and someone else's life decisions. If they want to do what they want to do, it has nothing to do with you. They did not cheat on you. They cheated on themselves. They have no loyalty to themselves. Stop making everything about you. This is them, this is their character, and they just exposed it to you. You can either deal with it, cry about it, pout about it, or move on with it. It's up to you, boo.
Mhm.
All right. What's our thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, when she says you can either cry about it, thinking about it, or move on, I'm like, first of all, I'm gonna do both
Right.
because I feel like as natural human beings, I think it's easier said than done. What she's saying, it sounds great, and it hasn't completely gone over my head because there's like attached to nothing, connected to everything. That's what I like. That's what I like to think. And I know that
Right.
when you try to hold on to things, sometimes you're more damaging yourself than anything else. But at the same time, if I am with someone and we have mutually gone into a relationship, I would expect a level of loyalty. If they are low, if they they do something that they're not supposed to do or they're not low, then yeah, I'm definitely going to take it personal. They have played themselves, especially if they lose you because of it. But at the same time, I don't know. I get what she's saying, but I don't think it's so black. I don't think
And
it's
white.
so black and white, especially when you're invested emotionally into someone. It's not as black and white and that. It's spiritually, it sounds great, but let's be honest.
J2 said, hey Jay, this girl's life sounds like a hot mess. Too young to understand what companionship or relationships mean. Yeah. Spiritually, I have heard people say that actually,
Mm.
if you don't place any expectation on anybody, then you eliminate the chances of being disappointed. The only people's actions that you can actually kind of guarantee are your own. So
Mm.
if you are with somebody and they do cheat on you, it is basically to just look at life as it is and people as they are, and to have no expectation from people. And if you have no expectation from people, whatever they do is not gonna hurt you, and then you kind of set yourself free from being disappointed by people. However, there's a whole human side that just ain't trying to play that.
No, and then where do you,
Just not trying
if
to
you
play
have
it.
no expectation as well sometimes of people, where does the boundaries come in? If there's no expectation,
Yeah.
if I'm in a
Question.
relationship, yeah, I'm not in a polygamous relationship or nothing. So if I'm not in a polygamous relationship or I'm not in an open relationship, there's going to be expectations. Fact.
Right.
The expectation is going to be keep your backside in one place. like, and that's just a fact. If you're not in an open relationship, naturally there are going to be certain expectations. But one thing I think that maybe that helps, what balances out what she does say, is that if they then do something, it's being able, it's how you, I think it's more how you react to it. Whereas I don't think she has the balance right in her statement. I get what she's saying and elements, but I don't think the balance is, I think it's like, yeah, it's too free. If you want a meaningful, deep and connected relationship, I don't know how you wouldn't have an expectation.
So monogamy, you think, equates to being meaningful in a relationship?
No, but I mean, if for instance, if I am in a relationship, should she say no expectations, isn't it? But if I am in a relationship, unless the relationship is open, obviously then there is going to be certain expectations that you are loyal, you're open, and that you're not sleeping or doing anything with anyone else.
Comment in the chat, guys. Let us know what you're thinking. Wanted to say a special shout out to Tony Cox. He joined us on our last session, and we want to have you back on for the next session so we can pick up the conversation that we left off, because it really needs a whole show for itself, and I really want you guys, the original panel, to be involved. So we're trying to arrange that differently. But Louise, what are you saying? What do you think?
Yeah, look, I was going to join in to say what Natalie was saying and what you were saying based on expectations. I mean, she's kind of saying two things. If you want to live free and, live that lifestyle, then it's okay. But as Natalie said, if you're in a relationship, then it's going to be something completely different. But I think, if you are going to live that lifestyle, then it is about, I would say maybe not so much at a young age. I think when you've lived life after a while, you know who you are as a person and what you want. And I think it is understanding whether you can, you can be with somebody and then just kind of go from A, B, C, D. Maybe that's the lifestyle that you've chosen to go. But other than that, I think if you've chosen to be with somebody, then why would I expect for that person to cheat on me? I don't understand that part.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work at all. Because you're making a commitment to that person, right. Unless you're saying you're going to have a relationship with that person where they can go out and so can you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Thomas Hunt said, open relationship leads you to being in a situationship. Ask Will Smith.
Right.
That poor man's never going to live that down, is he?
No. Because it doesn't stop. It just keeps coming every week. Yeah.
Tony Miller Davis said, loyalty, trust, and morals. That's all you need in a relationship. All right. Louise, you read Jay's long ass comment because I ain't got my glasses.
The term cheating refers to someone doing something behind your back, which equals disloyalty and dishonesty. relationships are based on trust, you
Mhm.
can come to an agreement that you are open to see different people, open relationship style. This is not cheating because it is based on honesty. How she has presented her statement sounds like she would rather live in ignorance. Ignorance is bliss for her, I guess.
Right. Because I feel like sometimes, like, you know, you've got more loyalty to your barber or your eyebrow woman. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Oh God.
But someone you're in the whole relationship with, so you're like, you know, you can't be attached to anything and no one belongs to you. Well, they kind of do at this point. Sorry. And I belong to you. I have no problem with that. Like,
Yeah.
I would have no problem with that. I claim you, you can claim me, that's fine. But to do all this airy fairy thing, but then go to the same barber all the time or go to the same eyebrow lady all the time, it's stupid.
Right. Rog, what say you? Rog, come. What do you think about it?
All right. So I made a comment. I just said to you guys that look at her age and then look at her attitude.
Right.
Okay.
But there's people that are older than her. I've had this
Yeah, I was just
conversation
about
many
to say,
times. Yeah, that
Okay.
feel
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Scrap her age. Look at her appearance.
I think she
Look
looks
at
nice.
her appearance and then her attitude. No, because, look, when someone is attractive and they've got loads of options, of course that's the kind of attitude they're gonna have.
I don't think it's that. I
I
think she's on this spiritual journey, but she's gone all the way over there with it. That's what I think it is. I think that's what she's done. I don't think she's really got the balance right. I think she looks like and she sounds like she's very spiritually in tune to a certain point, but I think she's just gone to the extreme with some of it, possibly. I don't think she's think because she's got options. I don't know if it's that. I don't know. A bit of it
The
could be
first
that.
time I saw, I read this concept was in the spirit.
No, wait. No, Natalie, no. Can you elaborate on this whole spiritual thing? Like, I want to understand why these spiritual people feel like, you know,
spiritual people.
Exactly.
freeness and, you know,
What do you mean by
like,
these
Roger,
spiritual
you're
people?
saying it
What
like
are these
they're fucking
no,
Daleks.
because you just described her. I said, look at her age and her attitude. Okay, scrap her age. Look at her appearance and her attitude. Right? What I was getting at was, she's a very attractive woman, so she's gonna have a lot of people looking at her. So she obviously has this free flow attitude going on, right? Which goes with this free spirited thing. This is why I thought, you know what, before I go with the whole free spirited assumption, let me ask you if you could elaborate, like what this.
When I say spiritual, I think she's one of those people that wants to completely be connected with the universe. So where you're connected to everything, attached to nothing, understanding the real meaning of life, being at one with yourself, not looking at nothing outside of you, all of that kind of thing, you know. That kind of spiritualism, not necessarily religion. So that kind of spiritual woman, almost what people used to call hippies, almost.
Yeah.
She's got like a hippie vibe.
Why are you distressed, Roger?
Why are you
I
stressed?
don't understand why you're distressed.
No, because do you know what, Charles? So here what happened, right? You see, when you're talking about free spirited, and then you're talking about hippie, the hippie vibe, yeah. Do you remember what happened in the late 60s and 70s? That
No.
free love. No,
my
no.
time, mate. Way before
No,
my
of course
time.
you don't remember. I don't remember, but I know it's in history and I've looked it up. That's what I'm trying to explain. Yeah? So this is the problem. When people are talking about, oh, you don't belong to this person. Look, Natalie, I love what you said earlier when you said, when you have that kind of attitude, then that means that you've got no commitment. And at the end of the day, when you're supposed to be with someone, there's supposed to be some level of commitment.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to be a hippie and you're living in that free love spirit,
like, isn't that then, if you're just going to be doing what you want to do, isn't that just like a brethren that you just shag? If no one belongs to anyone, it's just another pool of people in your big pool of people in your life, but it's one that you sleep with.
I can guarantee you, yeah, that the people, or rather of the people that have indulged in that kind of lifestyle, a very, very small percentage have ended up in wholesome relationships and with homes. And when I say homes, I'm talking about both mom and dad and kids are at home, they go to college, and yeah, no divorce. Very small.
But I think the point is, I think sometimes people on that full way to that extent almost look down on the conventional way of doing things. They feel like it's an enslaved attitude for us.
He said
like
that.
she would probably be like choking and clutching on a headscarf or whatever right now, if she could see, because to them this is a very primitive and kind of enslaved attitude. They would in fact be looking down on the fact that we would feel the need to attach ourselves to another human being like that. So they wouldn't want that, what you're talking about. They're not aspiring necessarily to have that. It's like, if that happens, great. It's that kind of vibe, but it's not necessarily what they're going for. And that's not my vibe. Like I feel quite thingy, but that's all the way over there.
Look, here's my thing. I don't, you know what? I'm gonna put this right across the board, yeah, because I've had this kind of conversation with the trans community and the homosexual community and so on. I've said to people, I've said, look, I'm not trying to tell you how to live. I have no position to tell you or authority to conduct or to dictate to you how to live. No way. By all means, do what you're doing. I just choose to live this way. If you don't mind, just like you choose to live your way. Do you know what I'm saying? So same goes with people that talk about, oh, I don't belong to no one and rare. Yo, not being funny, yeah, but like, if I was in a relationship with someone and I decide to start providing for somebody else and depriving you, my partner, oh, no, I'm having a little fun with this one, but it's going to cost you, I don't know, the rent. You know, oh, it's going to cost you the food bill. So I don't know what you're going to do about food, but I'm just going to have a little fun with this one. You don't mind, do you? Because, you know, I'm free-spirited.
But I think that's her journey, and I think what you have to do is you've got to leave people to it, but at the same time just know what you can allow and have in your space and what you can't. So if that's her journey, no judgment to her if that works for her over there, but that's not but even though I can accept that for her, that doesn't mean that if in my case, because I accept it for her, it doesn't mean that's what I want. So that would be a boundary. That's a no for me. You can do that over there. That's great. Enjoy it. No judgment on you if it works for you. But for me, I'd rather do it that way. And I think that is more of accepting and letting people be than what she's actually saying it is. Because what she's saying is, like, let people do what the fuck they want in a relationship. Stop trying to be thingy to people when it's not actually that. I think the thing is, you can let, because sometimes we can know how a man is or a woman is in a relationship and try and force them to be the person we want them to be.
Yeah.
That's where I think you go wrong. I think once you know that they are this person and this is what they want to do, sometimes as hard as it is, then it's up to you then to let them go. Non-attachment, because when you're attached, you can't let them go. Been there. Do you get what I'm saying? You know it's not right, but you can't let it go because you're attached. When you're connected to someone, it's completely different. That's where I think she got it wrong.
Right. And this is where I say people differ, right? Because at the end of the day, remember when I said earlier that I'm not here to impose any lifestyle on anyone. Like, do what you're doing, do you, by all means, right? All I'm saying is, if I want a certain outcome from an interaction with a woman, like, you see, like if I came across her, you're trying to find yourself. Yeah, let me see if I can help you. And at some point, I'm going to leave you alone and let you go about your business of finding yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what these girls want, where they want to have their fun, yeah? And then afterwards, they're like, oh, but that guy was a nice guy. Why couldn't I deal with him? And it's like, you weren't with that in the first place. You were on your journey, like you said. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, but I think it's a little bit different from what you're explaining there, because if she is on a spiritual journey, the type of men she's going to look for is going to be on the same path as her. Not so the girls that you're talking about, that's like, yeah, they want to sleep here, there, and everywhere, is a different path to what the journey that she's taking. It's going to be a little bit different.
Elaborate, please, Louise.
They elaborate.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
No, Roger, start. No, elaborate. Yeah.
I want to understand this variation that she's citing.
Well, when you're all about understanding the self and understanding how you're motivated and how what bothers you from what not bother you, this is a place now where you're understanding who you are as a person and how you're able to move forward. Now, if she's come to an understanding that, you know what, this is the freedom that I need in my life, there's no stress in it, she's going to find a partner that's on the same spiritual journey as her, that's going to have the same type of thinking as her. So it's not going to hurt so much if she decides to step out or he decides to step out. Whereas if you're talking about any old girl on the street, he wants to sleep here, there, and everywhere.
Come back. It's all right.
Okay, so I might have got it wrong from what you were saying. Go on.
No. We don't even need to go on the street. Just remember what you just said about this relationship.
Yes, it's a type of relationship that she. Yeah, it's a type of relationship.
Louise, let's be realistic out here, because it's not a one-off when this happens. Yeah, this kind of thing does happen, yes, but it's not like it happens once and then the next time she meets someone, she gets married.
What?
Sorry, say that again.
Oh.
I missed the part about the marriage.
He got lost in the sat nav.
He said got lost in the sat nav.
I said, it's not a case where she meets this one, because remember, you're talking about she's on this spiritual journey, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So she meets this one guy. She realizes, I feel different about you now. And then you move on, you do your own thing for a bit where you're single, you don't see nobody, for maybe about 3-4 months. And oh, hello. And then something happens over here, and then you realize that, nah, actually, I feel different about you now.
But that's also possible as humans. as time grows,
Do you know what?
change.
Maybe it's not even her. Maybe it's the guy that actually turns on and does that way. He's like, you know what? I'm not.
Yeah, but they come to an understanding. So if any of them decide to say, you know what, this is not for me anymore, they've already have an understanding. It's a discussion between the two that they've already had. So when they once they moved on, they can just move on, no feelings. There's no, you know what I mean? No one ain't upset or nothing like that. So that's the lifestyle that they're living.
I know a couple that had an open relationship for years since we were young. And it really, very open about it as well, don't care, for years. And I never understood it. I just was like, so even sometimes when we went on like double dates and stuff with them, or when they came round, I just thought, I don't get it. How do you do it? And my partner at the time used to be like, that's them, innit? That's their journey, innit? Like, why do I always question him about it? It's like, don't you think it's weird? Because I just used to think it was so weird. No, it's fine. That's their journey. That's them. But it was later on just to find out that they went through a lot. It does get messy. Pregnancies and this and that, and seeing this person, and then you're going to see this person because they're seeing that person, where it shouldn't really be tit for tat if it's an open relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of mess and a lot of tension. So I think if you're going to do that as well, you really need to know what you're doing. Yeah. Because sometimes you can trick yourself into saying you're all right with something when you ain't.
Yeah. And Jay made a comment earlier. I'll see if I can find it. He said, the problem is you have to decide where you land spiritually. Allowing someone who is freeing up themselves with whoever means you're allowing any kind of energy up in your nunny. Though that was spiritual too, no? It's true though, because it's like we can't pick bits of spirituality and ignore the blatant other parts of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like saying, I think for me, like, I think cheating is a violation. I think it's rude. Why are you laughing?
Thank you.
Because it's a big disrespect. You know, we hate it.
Yeah, it's rude. I would prefer you to finish with me and then go on to your, I was going to say concubine, but that's just so old-fashioned. I don't even know where that word comes from. I don't even know where that comes from in my head. But I prefer you to that concubine.
Roger agrees with you.
Yeah, do you know what? Okay, Delilah. But
Delilah.
But yeah, I threw my own self with that one. I prefer you to finish with me, because one of the things that I firmly believe is that, I mean, we've had countless conversations about it on No Bravado and off screen about some, like, you might be fine one day and then you might teeth piece from your ex, and then all of a sudden you're not feeling yourself, and it's because you've taken on some energies from your ex. So I feel like if you are, that's part of the reason I am kind of reserved with my sexual activities, because I believe not only in physical dangers, but I do believe in spiritual dangers. So I think with all of that said, I get what you were saying earlier, where she's coming from in terms of, you don't own anybody. You're on your journey. They are on theirs. So if they cheat on you, it's not for you to take that personally. It's for you to decide how you're going to manage that, and if you're going to manage that. And I guess that's what she was saying. And if you're going to manage it, you know, how you're going to move forward. And if you're not, then you're not. But I do think the cheating and sleeping around and then allowing people to come back to you has greater consequences than people realize. That's just my opinion. I get shot down a lot for it, because it was like, okay, well, where are these spirits, and how can you prove that there's connection, you know, through sexual ties and all the rest of it? But that's just my belief. I believe spirits, because we don't see it, but it's like electricity. We don't see electricity.
Energy,
So,
energy.
yeah,
It's all
energy is energy. So you've got to be careful who you're out there running around with, as Julian said, allowing a whole bunch of energies up in your nunny, and then you're passing that on. So there's different aspects to spirituality that we definitely need to take all aspects into consideration when we're out here giving this type of advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah.
Well, like I said, I think she had a point, but then she ran around the block with it too many times. Like, so she just went too far. Like, I think it went to
too
put.
far
You
left.
started to think, okay, and then it was like, no. Do you know what I mean? You were kind of got to that space where she was getting somewhere, and then it was like, nah.
Right. Yeah. Agnes is watching. Quite a few people are watching today, but we're not doing a long one today. I'm just warning you from now, Roger. We're not doing a long one today. We're both mash up, and Louise has got to go soon. All right, so where are we at? That was Michelle said she has a point. All right, Michelle, comment in the chat. Why do you think she's got a point? Richie G said a lot of people aren't ready for this conversation.
You included.
Can you read Michaela's one, please? Nat or Louise or Roger, someone.
Yeah. Michaela Good.
Yeah.
She says, I don't agree. If two people come to an agreement about their relationship with one another and state it is exclusive, then it is cheating when they step out of their union, especially if it's married. Now, if you want to live open, do that, but don't involve people who don't agree with that lifestyle. It's not about being enslaved. It's about a commitment to a person you care about. Now, if you want more than that, be with like-minded folks. I'm telling you, this world is becoming more and more selfish and self-centered. Right. Your feelings aren't the only ones that matter. Be considerate of your partner. I get what she's saying, but again, as I've said as well, I think it's also up to the partner to say, that's how you want to live? Nah. It's not just, oh, that's not how my partner wants to live. So I need to, like, I reckon it's a two-way thing. So if you know that's how your partner's set, yeah, if that's not what you want to do, you need to say that.
Yeah.
As well. But if the partner's being deceitful, but talking on the way that she's talking, I feel like it's not a deceitful thing. It's where you're open about being like that. So if you're open about that's how you want to live, if a guy came to me and said, look, we're getting serious now, but this is what I want to do, this is how I want to live, I'd be like, oh, okay, bye. It's been great. It's been real in the streets, but there's no way I'm going to go head first into something like that when you've already shown me your cards and your cards are not favorable to me. So I think it is selfish, but at the same time, if you know what they're on and that's what they're on, but you try to pursue it thinking that you can change that, then you're kind of setting yourself up.
Right. Okay. Michelle said she had a point, and she's come back to say that she said, in cheating, say something about the person, not you. At the end of the day, we don't have control over anybody else. We can only control our own actions.
That we agree with.
Right.
But it does say something about them. But she can't, but that girl, whoever it is, the girl in the video, she cannot deny that if someone cheats in the connotation that we're talking about, it has an impact and it's negative.
Right.
One piece of cheating can ruin a man or woman's outlook on love forever, or their outlook on things, or their trust. It can F with you, man, trust me. Especially if you have a deep, or feel like you have a deep connection with someone. So it is definitely a reflection, and I agree. It's not your fault necessarily if they cheat. That's on them. But the woman can't watch where the woman went left. You cannot deny the effect that that's ultimately gonna have on you if you are in a committed relationship.
Can anyone here be in an open relationship?
No.
Are you what?
I take that as a no then, Rog. Don't fight me. That's mercy.
Could you be in an open relationship?
I'm sorry. Excuse me. No.
I think that's just too much energy drain. Now I feel that energy pulling me left, right, and center, knowing that that's just taking place. No, that's a no. Definitely no.
Okay.
Couldn't do it. Nah.
I'm an overthinker as well. I just don't need that. I don't like to share tricks, so I'm going to share a whole dude. I'm not doing that.
Not Twix.
There's not a chance. No way. No way. I like, no. Like sharing a whole man on purpose. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think someone always ends up catching feelings anyway.
Oh.
Always ends up catching feelings. Let's finish reading the comments before we go into our third and final topic. Hang on. Let's have a look. Wayne Gibson said, nonsense. When you make a commitment to somebody who you're supposed to cherish, love, you're not supposed to go and fuck somebody else, stupid woman. Get the fuck out of here.
That's right.
Wayne Gibson said, Samantha Hall agreed with him. Then he went on to say, the problem is this sort of nonsense destroys the black family unit. It's corrosive. It's bad enough that we've got that hip hop shit from America. Now we've got this stupid cow talking rubbish. Ross, who took that personally?
God, I don't think he likes her.
Yeah, Samantha said it's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. I have no time for that sort of thinking. Pure foolishness. But do we think he's makes a point of some of the programs and stuff that are out here that are like giving fuel to the fires, like Love and Hip Hop? I stopped watching it. I remember Jay got me into Love and Hip Hop because I remembered being in the office watching episode of Love and Hip Hop with what's his name, Joe Budden, and two of his girls was fighting. So I think Tarina had smacked someone in the face. I can't remember. And I remembered watching it and getting into it. And then I think about 2 years ago, I was just like, this is too low vibrational for me.
Vibrational,
I can't watch it
yeah,
no more,
it
you
is.
know. Do we think that that's where all of the narratives, like different things, like hip hop, from like hip hop? I love hip hop, and I dance to it, but it is very derogatory to its women, which so happen to be us. Then we've got the programs. Do we think that that's what's giving birth to some of these idealisms out here, or do you think that this is just how society is now?
I think it's a combination of things, including social media.
Right.
As well, where everything's disposable, and you're almost seen as weak for, especially as a man, especially as a black man, for you know, having some kind of submission, love, loyalty, and integrity to your woman. There is this narrative like you're whipped, or you're there's a whole sarcastic saying out there called "black men don't cheat," because the narrative is that black men cheat. So they say black men don't cheat, like sarcastically to be funny. But when you look at it, it's because the narrative out there is black men are just cheaters. And I feel like,
or if you want to raise your baby alone, just have it with a black man.
Black man, right. So I feel like there are many different divisive tools out there, different elements of the media that What happened? Roger's face.
Roger's face. But that's what's been said. There's a whole meme out there that was like, if you just want a sperm donor and you want to just be left alone to raise your kid, just have it with a black man.
It's not saying
okay.
that you believe that. We're talking about
No,
narrative.
no.
Oh God.
Okay. I'm not saying that's what you're
This
saying.
is not my opinion, no Bravado crew. Let me make that
Yeah, it's not
clear.
our opinion.
Not my opinion.
It's not mine.
It's not, okay, damn.
Because if
Like,
it was, I wouldn't want to be with a black man. Why would I even bother?
Yeah.
If that was my opinion, I wouldn't even try. Like I would just think, forget that. On to the next. What other colours are there?
Yeah.
Wouldn't,
Sorry, go on, Roger.
all right, all I'm saying is, I think it's safe to say that there's a large enough population of us as black men that have witnessed what happens when you have multiple women and you have multiple children for multiple women, and how the aftermath. It's not nice, is it? You know, like I can definitely speak on that. I can definitely say like it's not nice, you know, where you're having to deal with this and that kind of issue just because your dad made this kind of decision and that kind of decision. It's hard work,
Yeah.
especially if you had nothing to do with it in the first place. So that's just me.
Yeah.
I think I just think there's a lot of pressure from different avenues for men to be manly, and sometimes the portrayal of manly isn't necessarily being great to your woman. It's being a free bird, doing what you want and doing what you can kind of get away with.
Yeah.
That is what's seen as funny, cool. It's a lot of bravado, a lot of ego in there. I don't know where that actually come from.
Yeah.
There are a lot of men that are not like that. There are a lot of men that feel like they have to be like that to keep up appearances. And ultimately they can't be happy because you can't force nothing to be like that.
They can't, but you got to remember, it's a two-part thing. Like on one part, it's a case where men have behaved that way because that's just how they are. And then you have men that have wait, hang on, let me land it. Then you got them man there where they've learned to behave that way because they realize that's how they get attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because what can't be thing as well is that it's not just men. Sometimes women go for men, the rougher they treat them and the less available they are emotionally is the more attractive they become. I've been one of those women that I'm not gonna lie, I have been with someone that was emotionally unavailable and felt like I was beating my head against a brick wall when actually you just don't need to be with someone who's emotionally unavailable. What was that about? It's for me to look at, but it's almost, it becomes like I don't want to say, because it's just like you want this person to just open up. So it becomes what's the word I'm looking for, Coach? Lou?
I'm trying to work out what you're saying.
You know, it's not, I don't want to say it becomes a game, because it's not a game. It wasn't a game.
Challenge.
But a challenge, yeah, to a degree, but it's almost as if I speak for myself. It's almost as if I attached my worth to being able to crack this person when actually they had their own issues.
Yeah.
They didn't even want to face, let alone share to me. So then you get just pulled into, if I'm 100% honest, there was a little bit of ego in there as well. So
yeah, so you both weren't valuing yourselves, not each other, but you weren't valuing yourselves. So you weren't seeing your worth, he weren't seeing his worth. So it's just like two heads banging together all the time.
Yeah, and I guess when you get snippets of like beautiful closeness, then it's kind of like, it's like sometimes when I've listened to friends that have been in abusive relationships, and I'm like, well, okay, why are you going back? But it's like every single one of them have said that in the beginning it was so lovely, so they're kind of chasing that experience again. So it's kind of like that, because when you have moments where this unavailable person opens up, it's all and lovely, but then they go back to, and then you're back trying to, you know, crack
But
that
then,
nut
you
again.
know, but you know what? I was speaking to a friend of mine, a male friend of mine, and he
Yeah.
was saying, you know, what they were taught in the household as men is that it was okay for men to go out and do this, sleep with whoever they wanted to sleep with, you know? So as you get older, it wasn't really like, well, it was like fun and games. It was, yeah, I can do what I want. I can get what I want. I'm a nice guy. I can, you know what I mean? Spend a little drink here, buy her a little treat there, take her out for dinner here, and I'm going to get what I want.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. Do you know what I mean? So if he's not in that frame of mind to say, you know what, actually, that's not the right thing for me to do, and it takes for somebody else now to show him, well, actually, no, there's a different way of doing that. It's going to be hard, because if he's gone through like 25 years, for example, of doing that, you're now having to change the mindset of that person who's been living the same way for most of their life.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that they didn't have an inkling like, no, what I'm doing is wrong. Probably not, but you know what? I like doing it, and I can get away with it. Why not?
Yeah.
And that was,
if we allow it as women, then why would they stop?
But now the women are allowing it because they're not growing themselves as well. They're also learning themselves. So I think it's something to do with, you know, age and growth. Because when you go through certain things, it's either you continue to go through a cycle, or you start to realize, no, this is a pattern.
What's the difference between a pattern and a cycle?
Yeah. So
what is the difference between a pattern and a cycle?
The cycle is you just doing the same thing over and over. It's okay. Like because you don't know any different. You're just thinking it's okay to continue doing it. Do you know what I mean? No, there's no difference in the pattern. It is your pattern. That is your cycle. That's what you're. Yeah, yes, that's exactly what you're doing. So that's what that's your goal. That's your plan, because that's what you visualize. You don't know nothing else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So until you start to feel in a certain way, if you know what, this don't feel right. This is not something I want to do. This is not where I want to be. I'm sure I'm meant to be doing something else. Then maybe you can challenge that person and say, you know what, can we look at something different? Because this is not what I want. And they may listen at that point.
Yeah, I hear that. Rog?
I think it comes with age and growth, to be honest with you.
Right.
At the time that we wanted it, when we was younger, we were all young, doing our thing, learning, but not understanding who we are as individuals and, you know, where we're coming from. And we've only kind of learned that as we got older.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with that as well. And what kills it now is that, like you said, you're learning as you're going, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You're having experiences, yeah?
Yeah.
We're all nodding our heads, yeah? So we all agree, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we make decisions. And then we have to live with them.
Yeah.
Like I know friends of mine where like they made decisions, like I'm talking well over a decade ago, and to this day they can't get a job.
Yeah.
Because of that split second, that one moment where they're like, you know what? Yeah, let's go and do this. Yeah, it's a good idea right now. Yeah. Today, decades later, nothing.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what I'm saying, where like we've got to be careful, like about, okay, fine, yeah, you know, this feels good, or maybe this seems like a good idea right now. We need to put a bit more thought. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree. All right, moving on to the next and final topic, because we ain't got Louise for long. And actually, I need to take some paracetamol and go to my bed. Seriously, it's one of those days today. Okay, as we've got Roger on, and guys, we really want you to comment on the chat for this. Onigas is here with us. Harry, I can't pronounce your surname, but nice that you're here. Thomas is here. We've said hi to oh, hey, Patrick. Good night, Patrick. Patrick's here. Patrick Charles. Nice to see you. Question for men. Do men get nervous around women that they are really into?
You know what? Yeah, there was a time. There was a time when I allowed myself to be, but not anymore. No.
Really? What changed that?
Because I realized how much you guys clown us.
Is that true? You guys think we clown guys? I don't think so. I don't anyway.
Yeah,
I don't think we do, but yeah.
It doesn't have to be all of you. It's just the experience of, you know, being a guy and being yourself and seeing someone that you're attracted to, and, you know, you letting your palms sweat and losing yourself a little bit and letting your tongue slip and saying maybe something clumsy and maybe dropping something by accident just because this girl is awesome. No. No, because afterwards, yeah, like she'll be there with her friends. She'll be there with her friends. So you should have seen that guy, you know. Like, wow, like he dropped his watch, you know, like, and it's also supposed to be on his wrist. I don't know how he done it, you know, but he still dropped it, you know. I don't know what's wrong with him, you know. Like the guy was sweating. He couldn't even shake my hand. I mean, his hand was wet and all sweaty and things. Like, what's wrong with it? Nah, never again.
I'm taking it that you've only had this experience once. This girl clowned you, and you've never had any kind of nervousness around women again.
Strictly
see how men move women. They allow shit to happen to them once, yeah? They're not in the bagger time and time again. Once. And that's it.
That's what I'm saying. So because I know that you girls are just as intolerant as well. It's like, well, you best not make no mistake. You better have your A game on, and then some. Even when you're leaving, you best leave her wanting some more.
Right.
Yeah. So nah, being nervous.
Yeah, you gotta leave her wanting more, or it's not. Yeah, trust me.
Guys, comment in the chat. Do you guys get nervous around women? I know I have gotten really nervous around a couple of guys. There was one guy, I was thinking about this today when I was looking at the question, and there was one guy that I stuttered all the way, like I couldn't get a sentence out.
I see it in you, you know.
But like, when he walked off, the person I was with was like embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like you really clowned yourself. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it hasn't happened that often for me either. But it's happened a couple of times where there's guys that have just taken my breath away that I can't even fucking function.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On the very rare occasion.
Yeah.
And I mean very rare occasion that there is someone that I actually fancy. It's always awkward.
Right.
Fucking awkward. Once fell up the stairs.
Oh yes, I remember that. I remember when you fell up the stairs.
I was like, fuck my life, like Of course you fell up the stairs. When you fall up the stairs, never. Just when this motherfucker's behind you, you fall up the stairs. Who does that shit? So it's awkward. So
but he did it as well.
then he did it, yeah.
Yeah, he did it as well. He dropped up the stairs as well. I was like, why do you two keep dropping up the stairs? But anyhow.
It's awkward, especially when you know that it's kind of mutual, but it's both very awkward and no one say nothing, but you can see the nervousness on both. And it was just, I fell up the stairs and then I was like, fucking hell, I fell up the stairs. And then he fell up the stairs. So I was like, all right, touche. A little bit better now. But yeah, it's more awkwardness. I can be very awkward if I'm not comfortable in a situation. And if I do, by any chance, fancy someone, then I'm not comfortable immediately. So
Right.
I'm just awkward because I feel very uncomfortable in that zone because it doesn't happen often. I mean, I know I've got 3 kids, but it doesn't happen often. I promise. So yeah, no, it's more of an awkwardness. It's more of an awkwardness, but I can see when a guy's nervous of a girl, and I'm like, oh, bless him.
You see, that's why I don't do it.
No, but it's not.
No.
No, but I think it's cute. I think it's cute to like someone so much that you're nervous. That a guy is so like someone so much that he's nervous. I think that's cute. Unless they say something stupid, then you think.
Actually, yeah, you're right. It's cute, not sexy.
So what do you think is sexy? What, to treat us mean and keep us keen?
You what?
What do you think is sexy? To treat us mean and keep us keen?
I don't think it's sexy, but I find it functional.
Why? Because what you're attracting then is a woman that has got, that is the same sort of thing that I was describing earlier. You kind of get into a cycle of trying to attract this person and they're being mean when there's self-esteem issues there and then. Why is that more attractive to you?
Look, I didn't design biology. I just work with it. Okay. Okay. You look at like say.
I'm waiting for it to finish because I know the sentence ain't finished there. Go on.
No,
Go on, what?
Say for example, if a girl had the opportunity to deal with a nice guy and a bad boy, who's she going with?
Depends on her age.
And her mentality.
Okay.
And her mentality.
Yeah, mentality more.
Okay, we're gonna get complex with it. All right then, okay. Let's simplify it then. Like in general, what would happen?
Depends on her background. I'm teasing, Rod. I stick by that to a degree because
you want a nice guy that can hold his own.
Look, I think I get
girl, and yeah, girls are going to probably go for the bad boys, whereas grown women probably wouldn't. No one wants to be like sitting in their house and the next thing you know, their doors flying off and it's either the feds or someone coming to rob them, or no one wants that. Not at my age.
Or a guy that's telling you shut up, and all of that. No, I'm not like all of that. Girl, no. Like, no. So the bad guy, because guys think that, like Thomas has said, age or mentality is lies. You will go for the bad guy. No, actually.
Not true.
I don't want that because I don't want to be in beef. I'm very, very serious about my peace. And I don't think there's nothing peaceful about being with a bad guy.
or
especially
someone that's
aspects of-
emotionally unavailable, and I think that fits in that same category.
yeah.
So the treating mean, keeping keen, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. Is it does work, because Thomas has also said in the chat that that type of behavior works. It does work for a certain type of girl who has.
If nobody wants to fill up my cup, they can't come nowhere near me.
Right.
Basically, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
If no man can fill up my cup from the first time I even met him to the date to moving forward, he can't come near me.
Okay. All right. So what you're saying is, if I can fill your cup and I keep it running over, yeah, then I basically have the authority to leave you.
You have your what? Sorry.
I have the authority to leave you. As long as I keep your cup filled and running over, I may leave you, yes?
Leave.
Leave or lead?
Lead.
Lead.
Yeah, which one you saying?
Lead with the D at the end.
Oh, lead.
Lead. Well, what do you mean by lead? What do you mean lead me?
Lead doesn't like, okay, look, honey, I managed to make about £2,000 this month. Can you figure out what to do with this 1,500? I'm gonna go and do this with the £500.
So that's you just making a decision.
Is that not leading?
Do you mean like being the head of the household?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Lead.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like trusting you and putting trust in you to you know make decisions and be the head and kind of like have a certain element of submission.
Michelle said, "Why do I need to be led? I'm not a goat."
Oh, no. Hell, you know what? If you don't want to be led, it's okay. You don't belong in my household. It's that simple. I don't need a throne. I need a household. I don't need a field. I need a household. If you're talking about animals like sheep and whatnot, are your business that there? I'm talking about wife.
Right.
But I mean, if you got Roger, if you've got a woman that was just as balanced as you were,
that part.
You can both kind of lean on each other to make decisions, because you're going to have her back and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Of course.
This is what we talk about every week.
You remember when I mentioned the figure that I've brought home and how I've divided it?
Yeah.
I brought home 2 grand.
You gave her a grand.
50.
I said to you, honey, here's a grand 5. Yeah, we got a household to run. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to keep 5 bills and do what I'm doing with it.
Where's
yeah,
the other
can you?
5 bills?
Sorry.
Where's the other 5 bills?
So no, the woman has 1.5. So the woman has 1.5, right? And you have
the woman has 15.
Right.
She's got 1,500. She's got 1,500 pounds. Remember, I brought in 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
What is she bringing? What is she bringing? What about her? What is she bringing?
No, so he just said that. So she's looking after the household. She basically needs that funds to fund whatever that needs to take place within the household.
So she don't need to work.
Huh?
So she don't need to work.
If she wants to work, she can do that. All I know is there's a yard to run.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, no argument now. All right, cool.
No, we're waiting for
no,
you to
because we're confused.
Basically.
Basically what?
So what was the point? What was the point to what you're saying?
No. All I'm saying is that's how I'm leading in it, because I'm bringing in the peas and I'm saying, all right, look, you deal with the...
No, go, sorry.
Go on.
Yeah. I've delegated.
Okay, but is leading,
Yeah.
right, is leading just giving me half the peas and then like is leading all about the money though? What other ways would you lead? Like if you would lead in a household, what other ways would you lead? Are you emotionally stable? Are you emotionally supportive? Are you like, what other ways would you be able to lead?
Well, there's obviously like my input in the decisions and what's happening with the bulk of what's happening with the income, isn't it?
No, not forget income.
No. But it has to do with that. It has to do with that because that's where
Yeah,
it's
but we
going.
know that. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we've done income. So
Yeah.
aside from income, so you're leading in the way of income, but there are some men out there who lead with income, but they're tyrants to their woman. They use it as a way to control her instead of leading. So I'm saying, what other ways would you lead like effectively?
Okay, so have we secured peace in the house?
Right.
Someone said you're speaking to a particular type of woman, as only certain women can be led by money. So what Natalie's asking is, other than you bringing in money, what other ways are you going to lead?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going
What's
to
the
lead
leadership role look like to you? Sorry.
All right, so in terms of, say for example, I mean, look, you could need me for anything, right? This is where like it gets technical. Like I don't know, there's a leak in the kitchen. I could sort that out. Oh, there's a short with the electric. I could sort that out. I'm talking about basically looking after the place. You know what I mean? Like leading by looking after the house. It's not just by, yeah.
So like a typical male role, that kind of leading, what is seen as like a male role.
Yes, operating a toolbox, yes.
I think what might answer the question is if you said how would you fill up my cup, because Michelle's saying such as, so maybe stay as how you will fill up my cup.
Because
you know what she means by fill up her cup?
Oh, what? Are we talking about in the bedroom?
No. No.
I'm dead.
Like, so if I'm saying, you know, okay, for instance, yeah, I might be like, you water me and I water you. That we don't mean in the bedroom. That means
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So you're talking about refreshment. Okay, so it's the end of the day. You told me, you know what, you just come from doing overtime, and I told you, you know what, don't worry about doing this, don't worry about doing nothing. In fact, I'm gonna run you a bar, and then we're gonna have some food, and I'll tuck you in.
Not tuck you in. Interesting.
Sorry.
All right, I'm going to ask a question. What do you mean by fill up your cup? What kind of attributes do you think a male needs to give us, Lou, to fill up our cup?
Well, I mean, if we're talking on the basis of, we're talking about when guys were coming, you know, they're nervous to approach us, you know, if it's a new person that they're coming up to and so forth. You know, I think maybe when I was younger and I met the person who, you know, I get fuzzy-duzzy about, then you're just like, you're nervous as a woman, you know, meeting someone new. But now, for me, if I'm going to meet someone now, do you know what I mean? I have to now, you know that person got good energy. He's going to come with, you know, he knows what he wants. He knows his direction. He knows where he wants to go. So that conversation is probably all going to take place, like, you know, in the next couple of dates that we have. But when you first meet somebody, normally now, it's about good energy. Do you know what I mean? You start off with having that good energy. If you feel that he's a waste man, then you're not really going to bother with him right now, because we've got too much responsibilities to be thinking about somebody that can work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because what I'm trying to get at, but Roger's gone now, so I don't know where he's gone. But what I'm trying to get at is what we are looking for emotionally in terms of from our men.
Yeah.
And what men think that they are doing in their roles, what they think is suffice, and what we think is suffice is basically what I'm trying to get at. Because there seems to be a difference. Like, you're talking about filling up cups, Roger's talking about toolbox, leadership,
Surface.
and money. So what I'm trying to do is see if we could get onto some sort of playing field in terms of what we deem as fair exchange.
Yeah. So I think if Roger's talking about leading, I think he's talking about whilst this thing is going on. But when you first meet somebody, are you ready to meet that person and, you know, say, this is the one for me? What is it that I can offer this woman? And how could I make her feel? But you know what, you know, for both men and women, they, you know, if they're at that stage where they're ready to build, you know, you kind of get that through that conversation. If not, then you're not going to move forward with that person. But if you're needy, and then you just, you know, you're all about, you know, just having a laugh and whether that person can get me, or yeah, I'll accept that 1.5 and look after your house because they ain't got no goals of their own, then that's not really, you know, a cup being filled. Do you know what I mean? So it depends where you are in the stage of your life, to be honest with you, and who you meet along that way.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, you know what? Yeah, now I'm going to interject. I think it's a lot simpler than that. I think it's a lot simpler than that. What we really need to accept is that we as men, we need to figure out, like, okay, what do women want? And not even figure it out, like, literally, like, pay attention. When you ladies are telling us, we want this, we want that, we need to take note. Yeah?
I agree.
Vice versa as well, you know. When us as men are saying, like, yo, we want this, we want that, take note. Because guess what? When you produce these things that we've requested, we're going to be happy to see them. And you know something? When you have made your request to us and we produce the request that you've made and say, like, yeah, here's what you asked for, hopefully, you'd be happy with that.
I think it's also looking at people, you know, I say people on both sides. It's looking at somebody's habits, the different habits that they have, listening skills, communication, you know, how you know, compliment one another and so forth. That's all that is included in filling up your cup anyway. So, you know, as I said, it's the stages that we are in our life. And I think that comes with, you know, learning, growth, you know, understanding what we want, who we are, how we behave, you know, how we function, what we can tolerate, you know, and you know, and really it's sharing that with one another rather than hiding it. You know, on both sides. What is that? Do you know what I mean? And be like, yeah, you know what? I just realized I did that actually. Yeah. You hear me? Oh yeah, I heard you. All right, don't worry about it. Because you're now on the same page.
Yeah. Crystal ball is broken, it don't work.
Negus is saying, I can make any woman feel safe, also know how to communicate and listen to her needs. That's important.
Very important.
Yeah, that's important. I think that, as Roger just said and as you just said, it is about listening to each other. It is about really understanding what it is that your partner wants and what it is that you require. I think sometimes we get into it a lot of the time trying to please people, and then you neglect yourself, or you're trying to fit into somebody else's kind of idealisms, and then you forget who you are as a person. So I think it's very important to stay true to who you are as a person, so that when you meet your match, it's not going to be a case of, well, you was this way before, now you've changed, when actually, no, you've just become yourself. Do you know what I mean? So it is about being yourself from the beginning and finding someone who can deal with that. In terms of finding a guy that, because Roger talks very traditionally. Olu's not with us today. I'm not sure where Olu is today, but they're both very traditional characters. And I guess that's great, but I guess my question is, with the traditional standards and the way that times are moving, do you not see any kind of need for some flexibility in terms of the standards in which you're looking for, Roger?
What kind of flexibility are you asking for?
We're living in, I think, traditional gender roles. You already know my opinion on that. I get them and I agree with them on the most part, but at the same time, I do realize that times are changing. Things have changed, times have changed, and on one of the last shows, I think Olu was saying that you can't have it both. You can't be a traditional woman and be modern at the same time. Whereas I'm like, okay, some of the traditional kind of things stick and make sense and make for a healthy, strong foundation in a household. But at the same time, keeping up with the times and adding a little modern twist, I think, is necessary for flexibility and not rigidness.
Okay, could you elaborate what that modern twist is?
Okay, so when you said that you would go out and make $2,000 and come in and give your missus 1,500 and just roll out with your 5, but she's expected to keep the household running. Is that all she's expected to do? Is she allowed to work? Are we going to share the household duties if she is working? All of the kind of things, because like I'm caring for my mum full time, and I still have to work, I still have to run a business, and I still have to cook, clean, and do everything. And it's not the easiest. It really isn't. But if you've got a supportive partner and you're both doing things, then I think that makes for a thriving relationship, as opposed to hanging on to gender roles and roles that are not working for us anymore, because we are just looking at it rigidly and through a particular stance, as opposed to adapting and being flexible and letting things breathe and grow.
Can I explain why I gave that example earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. If my wife went to work and so on and so on, yeah, what happens to the money that she brings in? I don't know. I can't guarantee. I don't know. I don't know. What I know, yeah, is at the end of the day, all right, when the sun goes down and people ask questions as to what happened to the house, they're not looking at my wife, they're looking at me. You guys can say whatever you want. It could be 2035 if you want. I don't know, maybe at that point people might look at things differently. But today, right now, from the way I understand it, if I'm in union with a woman, right, and things go downhill, people are looking at me for answers, not my wife.
Right.
Right? And this is why I gave the example of me bringing in what I was bringing in. Yo, if my spouse is bringing in, God knows whatever was wrong, oh, great. you know. But I know that at some point, due to, you know, her bearing children and raising these children as well, with my help, it's going to take its toll. I don't think she'll want to go to work forever. And I know that I have the resilience for me to carry on. Don't think me off.
Okay. Anyone got a rebuttal for that, or should I just move on to comments and we wrap up?
There's always a rebuttal.
Go for it there.
I know you want to say something. Come then.
Of course I do. I think that the way men possibly think that women think of what we want is not necessarily what we want anymore. That's why these conversations need to be had. When I've got children, I love my children to death, but it's not the only job I want to be doing at all. Like, if I didn't have anything else, that could possibly drive me mad. We're much, not that we want to be, we're stronger than we think, and we do just need support and just help carrying mainly the load. I think women prefer men's efforts more than them flinging money at them now. So if we've got the kids and I leave the kids with you while I go out, you're not babysitting, bruh, they're yours.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Baby.
So it's that kind of thing. And just because you fling money at me, not you, I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking in general. Just because a guy, sometimes he's the money man, like sometimes it's more tiring just being at home with the kids and not doing anything else than it is to go to work, come back to the kids. It's easier to actually go to work or have your own business or do whatever and have a balance, because everything requires balance. So if you were working all the time, you'd be done. When you've got the kids all the time, it's rewarding, it's beautiful, but it's also very draining. So I think what it is, what sometimes men sometimes think women want, I think that's why these conversations are important, because they actually find that times have changed and we do want a bit more for ourselves. We don't necessarily always want to live in our husband's shadow and not really have our own entities as ourselves as well. We want to be there, right shoulder to shoulder with you.
Yeah. But shoulder to shoulder makes you feel how, Roger?
It's weird. It's strange because I think before we even talk about the whole shoulder to shoulder thing, I think the conversation that needs to be had is the level of respect that's shared between the spouses. You get what I'm saying? Between the partners, between the partners, between the husband and wife.
I mean,
yeah.
Jay has said, Roger, if I be honest, this sounds like a conversation from the 50s or the 60s. Relationships are supposed to be much more integrated than breadwinner and housekeeper.
Okay. What can he elaborate what he did? Can it's fine in disagreeing with me. Can he go further with what he's disagreeing and saying?
Well, he said it. He has said it.
No. Okay, we moved on to the 60s. How do we live now? What is he saying? How do we live now? Can you? Okay, I live by myself. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what it is to live in a household in 2021 where you have husband, wife, with kids. And explain how does that dynamic work? I don't know. Apparently I'm from the 60s. My mentality is from the 60s.
Are you offended? We don't get offended on this show.
I'm open to update, man, innit? So
No,
If-
well,
if
I
I'm-
think
You
what,
said
no,
you
not
are
you're
from
from the 60s. I think what he's saying
You
is,
never said you.
yeah, he said that notion, the notion that that format, that setting can sound like something out of that as times have changed and people are different and the households are more integrated than what he was saying, more than breadwinner and housekeeper. So it's not just as, I think what he's saying, it's not as black and white as it used to be.
No.
So you run the house, I go to work.
I'm not
And-
suggesting that I spend zero time at home. Yeah, I'm always at work and all I'm doing is dumping money. That's not what it is. Obviously, I'm going to spend time with my children. I'm going to spend time with my wife. I mean, damn, that's why I married her. I want to spend time with her. Some quality time, you know what I'm saying? Because as far as I'm aware, once you're married, quality time is quite rare because women are normally very tired. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll catch your shade, Roger. I know when you're throwing shade.
no.
It's shade, you know. I catch you.
It's true though.
Women are always very tired. You know what?
Put it throw the shade if you want.
No,
The
bullshit.
point that I'm throwing is, the point that I'm saying is, yeah, is that I would want to spend as much time with my family in general, in
Right.
particular myself, because that's who I met in the first place.
Okay.
I think you can have tradition with a bit of jazz. So you can traditionally be with someone but you both work. So you're going to both, as Thomas says, you're going to both need to support each other. There's going to need to be adapting. If you're both working, it can't all fall to the woman to thingy. But at the same time, if Trisha was saying earlier, if I think someone's creeping in the house, I want to be able to hold my man's shoulder and run that. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's different ways, like where I just think there are traditional roles, but it just needs to, be a little bit more less
just
rigid.
ramp up a little bit.
In this day and age, you need both people working anyway, actually. If we're going to be economic about the thing, like we need both people out there going and getting some peace. But my point is this: I'm not going to stop you from being yourself, like whoever you want. You want to look after the house, cool. You want to come out there and explore your entrepreneurship and do something with what you're doing. That's great as well. Like if you want to develop this, I have no issue with that. All I'm saying is let's just make sure that we're taking care of the nuclear home, because that's really rare in this day and age, man.
All right, but if you're both working, do you agree that you both need to be looking after the home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I already do my own laundry and I clean after myself. Why am I gonna stop on someone? Oh, what? Yeah. So I'm married now, so I can relax now. Nah.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I think some people believe
that's the
this.
role and that's it.
What? You want us to dump you? Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Hey, man, listen. If you want, listen, hey guys, everybody that's watching, if you want your woman to dump you, yeah, move in with her or get into her home and relax. See what the hell happens. Remember,
Listen and relax. You're out.
No relaxing, boy. Oh, well, that was Well, that was our final topic, and although we said that we was going to only do like a couple of hours, we've nearly done 3. So
oh, wow.
it goes so quickly, doesn't it, Lynn?
Yeah.
So with that said, me and Natalie are spluttering all over the screen. And, we were just, I would want to have you back on again, Louise. It was a pleasure. Always
Definitely.
a pleasure.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself tonight.
Yeah, always pop back on. But before you go again, because people will join at different times, tell people where to find you, put your stuff in the chat, and Roger do the same.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
I can see my nose is red in this screen.
oh, poor thing. Hold on, wait. Let me okay. You want me to say it?
say it again. Just where to
Okay.
find you, Instagram, Facebook. They can book a session with you on Facebook, you were saying, on your page. Put the link in the chat as well.
We'll do that now. So Fuchsia Life and Fuchsia Life Coaching. If you type it in Google, you'll find all of the social media that I'm on at present.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it in now.
Does group work, does life coaching,
one-to-one
as well. So yeah, it's good. Good stuff. Rog, what's going on for you, my love? Where can we find you?
You know how it is. HTML flip 5. It starts with you. I'll always put the link in the comments below. That's the first copy of a series of my books. I'm working on the second one. It continues with you, and the last one is it ends with everyone. So yeah, working on the last few bits, but the first one's out there. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook.
Perfect.
Lovely.
All right. So in 2 weeks, Rog, I want to invite Tony Cox back on. I'm going to try and pin down Olu and Angela to see if we can finish talking about what we was talking about. So I'll cut it and then I'll send it to you all so you know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll go off onto that conversation because I kind of feel like that needs the original panel and a little bit more time because we would have just argued for a century if we
you know that.
I mean? We would have just continued to argue. So we'll look like put us in the diary for 2 weeks and I'll try and get pin down Angela and Olu as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Louise, we've lost your camera.
You see me?
You are. Yeah. Yeah, so just wanted to thank you both for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Having fun. I'm sorry, no, Thomas, we don't have COVID. Thomas is saying we've got COVID. We don't have COVID, but yeah, definitely time to drink some ginger tea and go to bed. Definitely that time. So thanks again for jumping on. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
Thanks, guys.
And we always speak to you, Rog, but thank you for your time, Louise, today. It's been a pleasure. Yeah?
Thank you.
Thank
you. I will pop in again because I had fun tonight.
Yeah,
sure.
It's good. It's really good.
Once you pop in a couple of times, you'll start to warm up.
Yeah.
And then you'll start to argue with them. But they've been quite nice. They've been quite nice over the last couple of weeks. So no need for argument.
All right, bring it. Yeah. Bring the argument. Yeah.
But you don't do argue, but we've been agreeing over the last few weeks, which has been good. It's not been it's
been amazing. Actually, borderline surprising. Like, wow.
Yeah, that we've
the
not.
girls are actually coming round. Like, wow. All right.
Well, I don't know
No,
about
I
all
wouldn't
that.
go as far as to say we're coming around. I think Angela switched teams. Angela's on our team now. So
nah, I think I'm gonna win Natalie round soon still.
You will never win me round.
Why?
Some of the things that you and Olu say, never. But I can respect it from over here.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've learned to respect you guys' opinion. But no,
Angela saying she ain't switched teams. She's
Olu likes to challenge a lot. I noticed Olu, he likes to challenge a lot. Like what? What did you say?
Yeah, Olu's a challenger. We'll hit him up and try and get him on next show, so we can continue and go from there. But yeah, I really need to take some paracetamols and watch Housewives of Salt Lake City. Do you watch that, Lou?
No.
No. Got me into this one. It's weird. They're weird.
It's weird.
So I'm gonna watch telly until it watches me. So see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Well,
thank you, Lou.
All right. See you
thank
guys.
You guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I charge you. We're both mash up. Not good.
What?
At least it ain't the full flu. It's just like little sniffles for me.
Yeah, last night I was like, yeah, you're going down, ain't ya? But then, like I said, I just chewed on that garlic all evening, all night. I was like, no, I ain't going down like that. And it has got a bit better, so I might do that again tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, because
single life can do that.
yeah. My mum put me to things that you can do in single life. You just got to really rethink it when you got the guy.
But listen, I'll be in my headscarf with my mismatched underwear, mismatched pajamas, chewing my garlic.
You're gonna chew the garlic.
You're
still gonna chew the garlic?
Yeah, tonight, yeah. And even just sitting here, I can just feel my throat getting, but it always gets worse in the evening, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm struggling. I'm definitely struggling. But yeah, I've got to share. We've got cupcakes and cocktails, 18th of December, officially 4 weeks. Jay should be playing down there, hopefully. I can get him booked. And yeah, the only other thing that I've got to tell you is that I've done a seminar. I was asked to speak to some apprentices about my journey, and I got a really nice email back today. Yeah, in relation to it. Hang on, I'll see if I can find it. Hang on, I'll read it to you quickly. This is what he wrote. Trisha Blake is the owner and founder of Diva Choice, a woman's brand specializing in statement jewelry, swimwear, lingerie, and accessories. The ethos of Diva Choice is to empower and bring out every woman's inner diva. Diva Choice is part of Fashion Capital Designer Collective in Islington. He goes on to say, inspired by Black History Month, this seminar was led by Trisha, focused on her story from her experiences in life and her identity as a woman of color working in the fashion industry, to the influences that inspired her and drove her to set up Diva Choice, the path she will take in the future, the challenges she has faced, and success that she has achieved in life and in development of her business. This presentation was a wonderful opportunity to hear from Trisha, an incredible, warm, inspiring woman who truly is a fabulous force of nature, about how she has grown and evolved throughout her career. Trisha demonstrated how with each experience, each struggle, she has become a greater friend to herself and has grown an even stronger conviction and belief in her abilities. The energy in the room throughout Trisha's presentation was a powerful example of how one person can inspire so many others to achieve their goals if they learn to love themselves and realize the most important person rooting for us is ourselves. If we don't believe in ourselves, then how can anybody else?
That's beautiful. Who wrote that?
A gentleman called Lewis. So it was his students that I went to speak to. So Fashion Capital have like a big factory and manufacturing process, and then they have apprentices that come in and do different roles. So some of them do stitching and patting courses. So it was just speaking to all of their apprentices and students about my life and where I'm at in my business. I was nervous as fuck. Literally sweating buckets, but apparently I came across well. So
we always do that.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm so nervous. And then she's like, right. I don't know how you go on there so composed.
I don't know. The poker face, I'm learning from you. The poker face is getting better. Yeah. But yeah, that was a nice achievement. My first kind of public speaking engagement. So yeah, hopefully there'll be many more. And I'm going to just, although I die inside, I'm going to just try and take every opportunity to get confident and used to doing it.
You're good at it. I think you're really good at it. I don't get it. I just don't get it because I think you're so good all the time. I've yet to see you come across and think, oh, you might want to give that a wide berth.
Yeah.
I think you're good.
Oh, well, bless you. So that's my highlights of the week. What's yours, babes, before we sign off?
My highlight of the week is I have landed a very big contract for NLPR, which is going to take us as a company both like financially and just thingy to another level. And it means that the entrepreneurship, I can now do that full time from January. So
well done.
It's a very, I'm even scared to say it out loud. It's a very something, you know, worked for a long time. And I don't believe it's real. Still don't believe it's real.
It's real.
Yes, real. Like I'm literally working for me. Like that's it completely. Nothing else on the side. And it just gives me time to do everything that we need to do, and everything that I've got passion about, every project that I'm involved in. Now I can do that with this big contract for NLPR, and
well done.
Yeah, expand that within the team. And yeah, man, it's just a new, and it's like I'll be starting the contract's done, but it officially commences in January, just after Christmas. So it's such a really amazing start to the new year. And as you know, I said to you, whether I have anything or not, I'm done.
Yeah.
So, and then it kind of came. So I'm pleased.
Just goes to show the power in your thought, word, and deed. If you convict to something, how you can manifest. It's so important, and it's been really interesting watching you do that. So congratulations, and maybe
thank you for your support throughout.
Always.
Thank you for that, because you know I've had a few wobbles, like
yeah,
but
I feel like I've known you my whole life. I can't get my head around that we've only known each other for 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. Yeah, I know.
I feel like I've known you my whole entire life. So may I support you through many great achievements, and may you continue to support me through many great achievements.
Absolutely.
For many years to come, because I adore my friends. You know, my family that I take on, you know, once I say you're my tribe, man, I will stand by you through anything. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad for you, and looking forward to next year. Next year is going to be...
Me too now.
yeah.
Me too now. Yeah, it's weird. I'm looking forward to it. It's like, okay, this is it. This is what you've been working hard for years. I think
ages,
with
and it's
energy,
coming to fruition now.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, they don't need to, but they don't see a lot of the pain, suffering, hard work, and struggle that goes into it. And like this has been like 10 years in the making.
Yeah.
So it's like, but the last like four years has been like, nah, because there's been times where that pain has made me want to stop, and you're like, no. No. So I appreciate that, because now I've learned to talk, even before I talk to you, to talk to myself.
Yeah.
And then I'll come to you and say, I feel like this, or I feel like that, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's got a lot to do as well with a lot of our conversations and stuff. So it's become a habit.
When God makes a union, where I feel like our union is definitely blessed.
And I do. And I feel like I just want to say, like, I love your friends too. They're my friends now, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. What a nice little family. I love your friends. Your friends.
Yeah, I love your friends. You love my friends. They're my friends now. They're not even your friends now. I can't even be like, oh, Trisha's friends. I'm like, yeah, Aggie, me, Sammy.
And they
It's just
are the
a
same.
nice, yeah, and same with my friends. It would be nice to do like a big link up with the two groups.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a couple.
We have
of
got
friends.
a secret Santa coming up anyway.
Yeah, we've got a secret Santa.
Yeah, so. Oh, yeah,
So,
but that's
you
just
know.
with our group. That's not with your group.
Yeah, I've got my secret Santa with my group.
Yeah.
They will come into my house this Saturday.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
I don't even know how they've run that. Anyway, why couldn't we go out? So you're gonna see me sweating and prepping all week, but no, it's what. And then we got our one. It's nice. It's just nice. It's a nice way to end the year. We've got lots to look forward to next year. We've got the Branding Buffet Studios that's going to fly. We get loads of inquiries about it already.
I know.
And so I would like to say, because this keeps coming up a lot, at the moment it's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 if you want to hire, just because of staffing and concierge staffing after hours, but they're working on it. So for now it's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 for a booking, but that is for now until they're able to.
And we can book like 3 weeks in advance to Saturday. 3-4 weeks in advance, so they can try and figure it out. But that would all change.
Yeah.
Holler at us for 360 hire or a studio hire.
Yes.
And yeah, peace. We're gonna go take some paracetamols and rest up, both of us.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Good night, peeps.
Good night,
Love you
peeps.
all. Thanks for watching.
Love you all.
Thank
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.